And now, Mystery Theater.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Once upon a time, and not so long ago, the family was the backbone, the continuity of life, mainly the continuity. And with woman only recently elevated from Mrs. to Ms., the family began with a sire and ended with a scion. Unfair, unreasonable, ridiculous, of course, right out of the Middle Ages. But the habit persisted through the Victorians. This tale falls midway between. A story of a man's fall to the consuming fires of eternal hell. And it begins appropriately enough with a roaring, crackling fire.
Father! Rudy! Oh, I thought you were asleep.
Oh, I was until I woke up to see dancing sparks pouring by my window. I thought the house was on fire.
I was just burning some papers.
Give me that poker.
No, it's too late. It's all gone up in smoke.
But that's my birthright, isn't it? The manuscripts from the safe in the study that are always passed on from father to son.
Trust me, Rudy, I thought it better for you never to read them. It's better, far better for you not to know. Your future...
Father, wake up. I must know my future. You can't die without telling me.
Our mystery drama, The Dice of Doom, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Michael Wager. The fascination of the future. It haunts and tempts all of us. If we could just know what it held for us. But that's only because if it should be bleak or full of disaster, the human heart cannot help but believe that foreknowledge would help us somehow to change it. But in saner moments, all of us should realize it is far, far better not to know what fate holds in store for us. How much better Rudy Schroll would have been had he left it to luck, fortune, the roll of the dice. That is, any dice except the ones he came to own.
Father?
Oh, I'm still alive, Rudy. Take me upstairs.
Of course, but I want to know what was in the papers you burned.
Have no fear. I shall not let life go until I tell what must be told. But upstairs, please. I want to die in my own bed.
I picked him up in my arms. So frail and wasted, he seemed lighter than a child. Carrying him up the stairs, my mind was racing backwards through all our life together. Fondly, happily. Sadly, now that he was to die. But as strong as any feeling possessing me at the moment was curiosity. Curiosity aroused because coming home unexpectedly a few nights before, I had found my father hurriedly stuffing a sheaf of yellowed manuscripts into a safe I never knew existed. Behind the portrait of the reputed black sheep of the family, my great-great-great-grandfather Helga Schroll. As I laid my father on his great bed beneath the pleated tester, he answered my question.
The manuscripts you saw me putting away the other night, the ones I burned this evening, were written by your ancestor Helgar. They were a history of this.
Oh, Father, let me go for the doctor.
No, son. I'm beyond any mortal help now. I was going to say the history of our predestination. And it has all turned out just as Helga wrote in those pages so long ago.
And what can have been so terrible? We've been an exceptionally rich and lucky family. Long-lived. Even you, Father, outlived my mother and all my long, sad list of older sisters.
I have no time to dwell on others. My own time is too short. And yours?
You mean my time is also short?
No, that I cannot tell you. Only that you are the last of the Scrolls.
The family ends with me?
Yes, but in return, you are promised two things which will bring you every worldly advantage you desire.
What?
They were not named. I only wanted to protect you.
Protect me from what?
The one to whom your great-great-great-grandfather sold all of us to. Who else but the... No! I will not come, Father! I didn't ask to!
Father! He's dead. Oh, no. May God receive you into heaven as you deserve. So I came into my inheritance. An inheritance which didn't last long. The last of the Scrolls, with the natural good spirits of youth, soon forgot all feelings of gloom and doom. I returned to the university in a life of wine, women, and, most important of all, the siren song that was the theme of my life. Now, by my hope of heaven, send me an 8. Anyway.
There goes your hope of heaven.
Still, Johann, he was close enough by all odds. For once, 7 is not your lucky number, Rudy.
For once? When is it with these accursed dice, Friedel?
My dice. May we continue?
How? You've taken every pfennig I own.
I'll accept IOUs, old friend.
My guardian has refused to honor them. Parsimonious old tightwad.
I'm on his side. Since you were to marry my sister, I don't want you a pauper.
Oh, Charlotte, need have no fear of that.
The way you throw your money about, my friend, she shouldn't count on it. Now, if she were to choose me...
Well, she didn't.
Poor girl. She doesn't know what she's missing. Oh, well, lucky at dice, unlucky in love. So, the game is over, I take it?
I have little taste for any further.
If you need money, Rudy, borrow from me or take back what you lost. You know we're friends, and what's mine is yours or Johann's.
Oh, thanks, Friedel. But my guardian will be here by tomorrow and make all the wedding arrangements with Herr Weber.
Is the date so soon?
My father is close enough to members of King Frederick's court to hear rumors of war being imminent.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
War?
We should all be officers, we three. We'd be commissioned immediately. Released from the bondage of this grinding charnel house of education. Doesn't it make your blood boil with excitement?
I'm not so sure a man can get killed in a war.
Oh, not an officer, Rudy. They're much too valuable to waste. Well, see you on the ramparts, fellow soldiers.
He's such a good-hearted fellow, you can't help liking him.
Well, I do in all ways except one. I'm always afraid I'll lose Lotte to him.
You're jesting. My sister loves only you.
I hope. I don't like his love for the battlefield.
Oh, he loves war no more than you or I. He's a romanticist. It's the trappings, the uniforms that attract Friedel. At all events, I'm glad of the rumors myself.
You?
Yes, because it will speed up your marriage to Lotte. I think she's just what you need to settle you down before you give in completely to your other love affair.
What love affair?
Gambling. The dice. If I had my way, I'd see you and Charlotte married tomorrow.
As it happened, Johann was a better prophet than he could ever have realized. Lotte and I weren't married the next day, but with foreign affairs worsening, we were married within the next month. The following weeks were the happiest of my life. Lotte brought me a handsome dowry, and at last I had control of my own estate. And then war broke out. There was no escape for anyone who considered himself a gentleman. Johann Friedel and myself prepared, with, I must admit, great excitement to leave for the front.
Rudy, I think you must be mad.
I have to go, Lotte. Everyone has joined the colors. Johann Friedel.
My brother and that conceited Frederick von Holtzborn are not married. They are not leaving a wife behind.
Do you want to be ashamed of me?
I want you to be alive. I'd like to have a father for my child.
You're having a child? Mine?
Well, I hope you don't think it's anyone else's.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I mean, well, it's so wonderful, dear. Except
what?
I can't explain. Just some family mumbo jumbo. It doesn't mean anything now. Oh, my darling, you can't know how happy I am to know that there's to be another generation of Schrolls.
Why shouldn't there be? And since you're going to be a father, you should be excused from fighting.
Lotte, you're right. I'm going to resign my commission today. Unfortunately, I quickly discovered that to leave an army is an infinitely more difficult thing than to join one. Although I would not admit it, I was as disconsolate as my wife. I had no desire for warfare when I reported for duty with Johann and Friedel. Still, the first months in camp were enjoyable enough. There were balls and festive dinners and a great deal of parading and being offered the favors of young and beautiful women who were completely captivated by soldiers. And there were the never-ending dice games, at which, unfortunately, I lost and lost. Never-ending. That is, until one day...
Well, boys, this is it.
This is what?
The war, the front lines, our chance to prove ourselves at last.
Prove ourselves how?
Why, that cannon fire is cutting us to ribbons. We've got to storm the hill and spike those guns.
So, order the men to attack.
They must be led, not by me. What are you, a coward?
No more than I am. We wouldn't have a chance, Friedel. We'd be cut to ribbons before we got halfway there.
Not with my luck. Follow me, and you'll be safe and heroes.
Dead heroes. Rudy is right.
You'll take your chances. I'm going to give the command to charge. I'm your superior officer, and neither of you can stop me. Here goes. Soldiers of Prussia, I command you...
Rudy! What? You shot him!
Madman, would have led us all to that cannon fire. We'd all have been killed.
But your friend, how could you kill him?
I value my life more than his. If you value yours, draw your pistol carefully. Aim away from me and fire it.
Why?
If you don't, I'll kill you too.
As you will.
Here comes the colonel. Remember, your pistol has been fired too, so our story is that a stray shot got Friedel. With luck, we'll get away with it. But our luck held only up to a point. Nobody had seen which of us fired the shot, but the bullet was lodged in the back of the head. Johann and I were separated and held for court-martial.
It is the decision of this court-martial that murder has been done, and one of you must pay the penalty with your life before a firing squad. I ask once more in the name of God and of your honor as a soldier that the guilty one confess and not have two murders on his conscience.
I did not do it. Rudy, how can you...
Would you make your sister a widow to save your own life? I did not fire the shot.
Very well. This court-martial hereby pronounces the death sentence. The fate of the man to die will be settled by a roll of the dice. Low man will lose. God, take them away.
All that night I wrestled with my conscience. What little I had left, By morning, I was almost ready to confess. Even the family prophecy was against me. With my child in Lotte's womb, I could not be the last of the Shrulls. So what hope had I for the promise of the two things that were to bring me every worldly advantage I could desire?
I will leave you alone with Lieutenant Schroll, Father. Perhaps you will have more luck in inducing him to confess than you had with Lieutenant Brandt.
Well, my son, do you wish to confess?
Father, Friedel! Shh. You're no priest. You're Friedel, the man I killed.
True enough, as the friar pushed back his cowl, his face seemed to be that of the murdered man. Was this some trick of Rudy's tortured conscience? Had Friedel somehow not died? Was this a genuine priest? Or if he was not, who else could he be? And what control had he over Rudy's future? I'll return shortly with Act 2. In the cell, tortured and dizzy after a sleepless night, facing the fact that a throw of the dice may place him before a firing squad within hours, Rudolf Schroll gazes in horror at the man who stands over his bunk, clad as a priest, but whose face is the face of the friend he murdered. Or is it? For to his fevered gaze, the face seems to swirl and shift and take on many forms, till Rudy is sure of nothing.
So, little brother Rudy, I suppose you never expected to see me again.
Who are you?
You don't remember me? Is it so easy to forget an old friend's face because you shot him in the back?
If you mean Friedrich Halsborn, he was mad. If we'd followed him, we'd all have been killed.
No doubt. You were quite right to shoot me.
You? I don't know who you are.
Your friend, Friedel.
Friedel is dead.
Oh, well, what's in a name? Do you wish to confess his murder?
No, no.
Then have no fear. I will not expose you.
But, Friedel, if you are alive, somehow
the man you knew as Friedel is quite dead. Have no fear of that.
But I am afraid. Within the next couple of hours, a roll of the dice may condemn me to execution for his death.
Why not? You're guilty.
Oh, no, you can't trick me that easily.
Dear Rudy, I can do with you whatsoever I desire.
You're not Friedel.
I am he whom I choose to be. For this moment, your friend. Remember the story of the manuscripts your father burned? 2 things will bring you every worldly advantage you desire. They will come to you in time.
In time? When? How? Who are you?
I wear the frock of a priest. Can you not trust them?
You are no man of God.
Then you must guess who I am. Still, trust in me.
I dared not admit to myself who my strange visitor was. I was numbed by fear. And before I knew it, I was led from my cell to the place of execution. A large and expectant crowd lined the route and followed me to where a sandhill had been built for the execution. It was there I met Johann.
Rudy, you still will not confess. What about your sister Lotte?
Drummer, bring your drum. Lieutenant Brandt, yours is the first roll. Here are the dice. Throw them on the drumhead.
May God defend me.
Double sixes.
God heard my prayer.
Well, do you wish to roll, Lieutenant?
If I match it, what then?
We'll roll again.
Give me the dice. One of the dice. It broke in two.
Yes, there's no reading the number. Has anyone else a pair of dice?
If you please, Your Honor, a poor peddler, but I have dice for sale.
The army does not have to buy. I commandeer one pair of dice from you. Give them to this man. Now, throw.
Yes, my colonel. Double sixes.
Then we must throw again. You first, Lieutenant Brandt.
I cannot ask God to defend me again.
He has not treated you kindly. A 2 and a 1. Roll.
Yes. Double sixes again.
So be it. Take Brandt and bind his eyes. Make ready for the execution.
Your dice, peddler.
No, my friend. Yours. The two things that can bring you every earthly advantage you desire. As they have already.
You're no peddler. You're... What? Friedel the priest or...
Shh. Mention no names. I'm your benefactor so long as my pact with you exists. Listen.
Ready? Aim! Fire!
But for me and those dice, that might have been you. Keep them. They will roll for you what you wish, win or lose, until your time is up.
On the sandhill, my best friend and my wife's brother lay dead, riddled with bullets. My only other friend I had killed. Or had I? Was it some shade from beyond the grave who had placed the magic dice in my hand? For magic they proved to be. I could lose or win at will, and in no time I had bought my way up out of the army. My life, even my wife's, became the lure of the gambling table.
Come in. Oh, it's you, Rudy.
Who else would you expect, Lottie?
Oh, the stupid little maid of mine. I'm waiting for her to bring my dress.
What's the matter with any of the others?
And nothing I have will fit me. This child of yours is ruining my figure.
Upon my word, I'm glad in more ways than one you're carrying a child.
Now, what does that mean?
Even as it is, the men all pay too much attention to you, and sometimes I think you to them.
The baby, that's all you care about anymore. Not me, just your precious child.
Don't know how important it is to me to have a son.
A son. My body is just a machine to manufacture your son and heir. So help me God, if for no other reason than just to spite you, I pray night and day for a daughter. If I produced a lowly female child, wouldn't there be the devil to pay?
In any case, there will be the devil to pay, my friend.
Rudy?
What?
Are you all right?
Why do you ask?
Well, you suddenly went as white as a sheet and stood there as though you were listening to someone else or something inside you.
It was nothing.
Well, I didn't mean to tease you about our child. If you're angry about that...
I'm not angry.
Oh, that'll be Elsa with my dress. Now, are you going to take me gaming tonight?
Tonight? All right, but afterwards, I'll meet you downstairs in the library. I had to be alone for a moment. Things had been happening so fast and so fortunately, I'd shut my mind against thinking about consequences. But now, with 2 quick brandies to clear my head, I began for the first time to face a riddle I wondered if I knew how to solve.
As the last of the long line of Shrolls, fame, money, and love are my share. Except how the devil to keep them if my wife bears my son and my heir.
Where did you come from? Who are you?
Who else but your friendly fool, your jolly court jester, your majesty? Perhaps you'd recognize me better in this shape.
Friedel, again?
Would you rather look upon me as I really am?
No. I must be going mad. You can't be Friedel.
Of course I can't be Friedel any more than a peddler, a priest, or a jester. You know who I am. You also know a pact was made with me long ago, that you were to be the last of the Scrolls, and that I would give you 2 things that would bring you every worldly advantage you desire. I have kept my part of the bargain. The devil's dice you have. But you have not kept yours. Your wife is carrying a son.
There's nothing I can do about that. There is no way I can destroy my own unborn child.
But I can. You have only to ask.
No.
Very well. You have made your choice. One last word. If you ever need me, light a fire at the last stroke of midnight, throw in the dice, laugh loudly. The dice will split, and I shall come to you.
In heaven's name, Rudy, what are you trying to do? Set the house on fire? The smoke is as thick as a blanket. What need have we of a fire if we're going out? And such a fire. It smells as if the devil flew down the chimney.
Not down, little wife, I wanted to say, but up. But I had no words left to say in a raging desire to bury my thoughts, make my mind a blank, shut out everything with the wonderful fever that had brought me every night to the tables, where I could win or lose at will, where I alone was king.
Casserole's point is 10. Dice. A 5 and a 2. 7 is a loser. That is 40 to the first better, 20 to Mynheer number 2, 50 to the lady.
What's wrong, Rudy? You lost again.
That's right.
But this is the 10th night running. Now you must go back and win.
With what?
With your luck, your magic touch. You always end up winners.
This time, apparently, I can't go back.
Why not?
Because I have no money. If you...
No, but my jewels.
Already pawned. We're bankrupt, Lotte.
But what are we going to do?
Come along, we must get home. I have things to do. I put a sleeping powder in Lotte's evening draft that night. And I built a fire, striking the first match with the last stroke of 12. Then as the fire caught, I threw in the dice and laughed. A wild, hysterical laugh with a life of its own that shook me from scalp to the soles of my feet. A laugh that became a sob. At the last moment, I tried to reach for the dice and draw them back before it was too late.
Gambling is a fever as overpowering and as vitiating as drugs or alcohol. All can be cured with the addict's cooperation. But eventually there comes a point of no return, the point Rudy has reached now. Will he pass it, or is it still not too late? I'll return shortly with Act 3. Rudolf Schroll stands before the fire he has just lit, his hand extending to pick up the dice from the flames. But in the very act of reaching, he draws back? Is it fear or greed that forces him to leave the dice there to split in the heat and summon up his nemesis? Is he committed to take another step on the road to eternal hell?
It's too late. The dice have cracked. Yourself.
Am I not the one you called?
Yes, but you are always in some other form.
This time the occasion is serious enough for you to see me as I am. Why did they call me?
The dice. They've lost their power.
Through whose fault? Nearly 200 years ago, I made a pact with your great-great-great-grandfather, Helgar Schroll. For close to 2 centuries, I have lived up to my side of the bargain, as your ancestors have lived up to theirs. Only you have tried to change the terms.
I just wanted what any father wants, a son.
A son to carry on the family name?
Yes.
No. My pact was for 5 generations, and I want no more of the Schrolls to trouble me. No child.
But how can...
Leave that to me.
But I don't want my wife to be hurt.
Would you rather I took you now, as I can do with your contract already broken?
No. No.
Have no fear. Your wife will come to no harm. You will live out your time on Earth, and the child would never have been born in any case. You underestimate my power, and your dice will have their magic again. See that in all else you obey me, or they will be disarmed, and I shall drag you to the pit that moment. Satan be with you.
He was gone as suddenly and completely as he appeared. A devil from blackest hell. And yet as he spoke, his face had rippled like a reflection in a windy pond, and the form kept changing, ever changing, from satyr to Friedel, to the priest, to the peddler, to the croupier, and back to the satyr again. Malevolent, diabolical, menacing. For a moment it seemed a dream, and then I was looking at the dice in my hand, whole again, and hearing the final proof.
Rudy, help me. I'm losing the baby.
It took a little while to raise enough to get started again. But once I had a stake, I was merciless. When I cleaned out everyone's pocket in one town, I'd move on to the next. We lived up to every magnificent penny I made. Our parties were legendary, haunted by every profligate in Europe, stained by every sin in the lexicon. Lotte failed to recover her figure. Wine and brandy the culprits now. The Baron von Schrollhausen, as I called myself, was much too rich to be unattractive. No matter what my excesses. And so at last we came to the Riviera in France to run up against my most formidable rival in the game of chance.
Who is that perfectly gorgeous man at the baccarat table?
That, my pet, is the Comte de Mauvrais, the second most important gamester in Europe.
Oh, some say the first.
That's a matter we'll settle someday.
Is that the Comtesse by his side?
It is. And she is beautiful.
She's a painted hussy, that's all. Oh, he's getting up. Perhaps he'll come our way.
Lotte, here's 100,000 francs. The wheel is waiting for you.
Oh, but
I prefer to meet the Comte alone. Go.
Yes, Rudy. If you insist.
Very few things would tempt me away from the baccarat table, but I believe I recognize the great Baron von Schrollhausen.
At your service. And I'm flattered at the recognition. The Comte de Mauvais is, of course, known worldwide.
Oh, I am flattered in return. May I present my Comtesse Margot, the Baron?
A pleasure long deferred, Monsieur le Baron. That is your wife who just left?
Yes, Lotte, she is not at her best these days.
Oh?
Well, I'm being unfair only because I am blinded by your beauty. A fluttering little hand lay in mine like a bird's as I kissed the back of it. But from her palm to mine was passed a tiny ball of paper.
Well, Baron, it was fated we should meet eventually. Eh? When do we cross swords?
At what game?
Chemin de fer is my favorite.
Unfortunately, I do not play cards.
Ah, only the dice. Then, since I am challenger, you have the choice of weapons. When do we begin?
Since you select my game, the time should be named by you.
Tonight, I'm committed to chemin de fer. Tomorrow, I must leave for business in Marseille. Shall we say 1 week from tonight?
Accepted.
In the meanwhile, bonne chance at our tables, but save your best for me, eh? Now, if you will excuse me, I must return to my game.
And you, monsieur, must take me and introduce me to your Baroness.
May I suggest a glass of champagne?
Oh, what a delightful idea. Especially since they are serving on the other side of the casino.
Especially.
Well, it will give you a chance to glance at the billet doux past you, unobserved by either of our spouses.
I must admit it has been burning a hole in my hand. So I shall read it as we stroll, unobserved. Except by you.
That is nothing to be afraid of, since I wrote it.
You. The pavilion.
My own Petit Trianon, a private little retreat of mine at the other end of our chateau gardens.
And your husband will be away all next week.
May I expect you?
The most beautiful woman in France. Why, me?
Regardez vous-même, Baron.
I'm no beauty, Madame la Comtesse.
Ah, you are something far better and more exciting. A man among men, a gambler who wins and wins. A man like you gets in my very blood.
But your husband
My
is...
husband and I are one thing. You and I, another. Besides, he will be away. I shall expect you tomorrow at, say, 4. You are marvelous. Everything I expected of you. My lover, my strong one. What is your strength?
My strength is your desire for me.
Then meet me again. Tomorrow. Here.
Same time.
The same magic hour. What makes a man a gambler, Rudy?
I don't know what makes a man a doctor.
Study, dedication, desire.
Well, for a gambler, the first two, but the third, that's a fever, Margot. Must we waste our short hours together talking?
Not when you mention fever.
That's what you've become for me.
But you've already won me.
Not enough, not yet.
Not for me. With you. What I really meant yesterday, I suppose, was what makes a man a winner?
What makes your husband one?
That's simple. He's rich enough to be able to play long enough till the odds have to tilt his way.
What happens to us when he comes home? Do you go back to him?
I am a very selfish woman, Rudy. I love my pleasures and my comforts. And you.
Then if I promise you I will win the game, do I also win you?
You'll never beat Le Comte.
And so, 3 days later, the great game began. I let the 200,000 francs ride. Will le Comte cover me?
The Baron is covered.
Very well. 8 is the point. Easy 8. Anyway. A 7.
I win. My dice, I believe. 11. A winner. I let all ride.
How much is in the pot?
840,000 francs.
You're covered.
A natural lucky 7. Will you cover me again?
It was impossible. 5 nights in a row I lost to the Count. With my dice, but that couldn't be. No one could cast a spell over them but me. Unless I drew them from my pocket, examined them, twisted them this way and that under the light. But that was part of their secret. How could they be told from an ordinary pair? And this was no ordinary pair because I never let them out of my possession. Margot, le Comte. I'd been taken in by one of the oldest tricks in the world. Where are they, Margot?
Rudy, where? What?
My dice! You stole them from me to give your husband.
Rudy, don't be silly and put down those pistols.
I suggest the same thing.
So you're here, Monsieur le Comte. Very well, my dice. Or I swear I'll shoot that witch who charmed them away from me.
I don't have your dice.
I warn you. I'll shoot her if you don't give them up.
Shoot and be damned.
Ah, Dieu. No. Mon Dieu.
You've killed her.
Just as I'll kill you to get my dice back.
They are not yours, Rudy. They're mine. And I decided it was time to take them back. Poor Margot. Still, her death will serve a purpose. You will be guillotined, my friend. But don't worry. When you join me, I'll rejoin you.
Damn you, my dice!
You can't damn me.
You think not?
That was enough to kill me when I was Friedel, old friend. But you need more firepower than that to stop the devil.
There was some disagreement among the judges at the trial as to whether Rudolf Schroll should be guillotined or sent to a madhouse. But the Comte's face, as he testified, was so white and frozen with grief that Rudy's wild story was judged a deliberate attempt to escape his crime of conscience. He died under the knife, fulfilling the prophecy that he would be the last of the Schrolls. I'll be back shortly. As for the dice themselves, no one knows what happened to them. There have been stories since of winning pairs that make fortunes for their owners. It's doubtful, with so many professional mechanics in the field these days, the devil would bother with dice. He has so many more fruitful opportunities as the world turns today. Our cast included Michael Wager, Carol Teitel, Ian Martin, Gordon Gould, and Robert Dryden. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall, practitioner of the seventh oldest profession. Storyteller, spinner of tales, weaver of dreams, especially those that are dark and foreboding. An ancient poet wrote, "Forgetfulness, sweet and blessed forgetfulness, is the most precious gift of the immortal gods. For the innocent to forget, and for the guilty to be forgotten, is to receive, finally, the benediction of amnesia, the sweetest spirit of all. For amnesia sits patiently beside the never-ending stream of time, bestowing her largesse on the innocent and the guilty alike."
Jerry? Jerry?
Eric, what's wrong?
I'm in trouble.
What kind of trouble?
I'm scared. Scared stiff.
Now, whatever it is, kid, I'll stand by you. Now, what did you do?
I killed a man.
Oh, all right, kid. Now, who was it?
A man named Jamie Parsons.
Who?
They said his name is Jamie Parsons.
Oh, Eric. How could you kill Jamie Parsons?
I did. I shot him 10 minutes ago.
No, kid, you didn't. Now, how could you? Jamie Parsons has been dead for 50 years.
Our mystery drama, A Bride for Death, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Tony Roberts. I'll be back shortly with Act One. We are still a young and boisterous country, filled with optimism and high spirits. At least we like to think we are. And we endorse positive thinking. We're convinced that the pot of gold lies at the end of the rainbow, and that sterling silver lines every cloud. And so our language has no word to match one that is so familiar to the Germans, Weltschmerz, which means a melancholy weariness with the futility of life. Which is not to say that we don't encounter it here and there, we do. But it's not really what you could consider a mainstream affliction.
Well, good morning, Martha.
Oh, I'm just taking your pancakes off the griddle.
Well, that's life. You know what life is? Timing. Now, you be there at that exact split second.
Now, that's enough, Jerry. 2 philosophers in this house at one time is more than I can put up with.
Well, Shakespeare down yet?
And don't call him Shakespeare.
Well, why not? He's a poet, ain't he?
Oh, here. Feed your face and give us a rest.
Okay. Now, you tell me now. Here's a boy, 25 years old. He's been to college. Means he's got brains. He's good looking. Means he's got no problem with women.
Jerry, I'm worried about Eric.
Worried? For crying out loud. What's his problem?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it doesn't help that he can come running to his big sister any time he needs it.
It's just that, I don't know, he feels rejected.
Rejected? Why, that boy is welcome wherever he goes.
No, Jerry. He's actually being rejected by the editors. He sends his poetry into a magazine, and back it comes with a rejection slip.
Well, I read some of those poems, and, I couldn't make head or tail out.
Oh, what do you know?
Well, I know what I like. You know what he ought to do? He should get a job.
He's trying to find himself.
Oh, I pass.
Good morning.
Oh, Eric, you're just in time for breakfast.
I only want some coffee.
You can tell that this is a city boy.
Eric, you really ought to have a good breakfast. Sugar and fresh cream, Eric?
I'll take it black. I've got this headache.
Oh, look, you better see a doctor.
No. He doesn't need a doctor. He needs to have a good time, raise a little hell. Hey, why don't you come with us, Eric, into the dance at the Grange Hall tonight? Put your arm around a pretty girl, the whole world is different.
I wish the whole world could be different.
Now, Harry, you just can't get serious at this hour in the morning. You're going out for a ride. Saddle up Duke or Admiral, and you just look at that sky, and you just breathe that air and enjoy that sun. And you know how you feel? I remember that poem you once recited when you were a kid. And you'll say it again. God's in his heaven, and all's right with the world.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high, Oh, Duke. Hold it. Hold it, boy. That can't be. It can't be. It's a mirage. Stay here, Duke. There's plenty of nice grass. Have your lunch. I have to find out about this. It's incredible. Out here? This type of architecture? Out here?
Jamie, darling, I knew you'd come. Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm not Jamie.
Oh, I see. I've been waiting for Jamie to come back from the war.
The war?
Yes, the war. And now I know who you are.
Well, who am I?
You're Jamie's best friend, his buddy in the fight. And Jamie fell and he died in your arms, and with his dying breath, he made you swear to come and tell me I'm the only one he ever loved.
But,
After I finish crying for Jamie, you and I will fall in love.
I almost wish that were true, but that's not what happened. I was just riding by, and I was struck by the look of the house.
Were you?
It's fantastic. This ornate, late Victorian architecture is so perfectly preserved.
Do you like it?
It's fascinating.
Well, I think it's just too much gingerbread. Granddad built it. I've never seen you around here.
I'm visiting. Jerry Carraway's my brother-in-law.
You can't mean Jerry. You mean Oscar.
No.
Oscar Carraway owns the farm over on Stillwell Creek.
I think that's what they call it.
Well, that's Oscar. Jerry can't be anybody's brother-in-law. He's hardly a year old.
I suppose we're talking about two different people.
Now, if you're kin to the Carraways, I am going to invite you to come inside and have a nice cool glass of lemonade.
Well, thank you.
Come on into the parlor, and we'll sit. I don't know what is the matter with me. My name is Julia Sanford.
And I'm Eric Mills. I can't get over this.
What?
The way this place is furnished, and that phonograph.
Oh, yes, everything is the latest, from all the way over to Omaha.
Everything is so authentic. And I think the telephone is a great final touch.
Well, it's just an ordinary old telephone.
Old is right. Well, that's practically an antique. They used to have those about the 1920s. I've seen them in the movies.
Do you like movies?
Well, some of them.
What's your favorite?
Well, I have my own taste. I mean, my favorite movie happens to be, don't laugh, Birth of a Nation. I saw it at a retrospective in the museum.
We saw that in town at the Bijou.
Do you have a theater that shows old pictures?
Old pictures, new pictures, any kind.
Everything here is so,
So what?
That one word, it just covers everything. Authentic. Even your dress.
Oh, it's just a silly old...
Well, you know, nowadays there's no style. There's no set style. I mean, girls dress any which way, but yours is definitely 1920-ish.
Well, I should hope so. Dad's taking me shopping to Omaha as soon as I get back from Washington. Oh, do you like politics?
No, definitely not.
Oh, don't you ever say that in front of Dad. I told you Dad's in Washington visiting with President Wilson. And he...
But Wilson isn't the president.
Oh, that's right, he isn't. I can't get used to the idea of that new one, Mr. Harding. Mr. Warren Gamaliel Harding. There's a mouthful for you.
But,
Dad was against him at the convention.
The way you talk, I almost believe you.
Why, you can read it in the newspapers. Dad is an important man. He's going to run for governor. You just ask Mr. Carraway if that's not so.
No. What I mean
Oh,
is...
I hope it didn't sound like bragging on my part.
Everything is so...
You don't believe a word I say. All right, now here. Now just read it for yourself in yesterday's paper. Now what does that headline say?
This is the Rocky Mountain Advocate and Messenger, July 18th, 1921. Even the newspaper? It's so carefully preserved.
Preserved? Why would anyone want to preserve a copy of the silly old ad mess? You can always get a fresh one the next day.
Oh, if only this period had never passed away.
You know, I don't understand half the things you say, but I love to listen.
Do you suppose that I could call on you again?
Oh, well,
I understand. There's a dance at the Grange Hall. How would you like to go?
I'd love it.
Great. I'll pick you up.
No. Oh, no, I better not.
Why?
Jamie.
Jamie?
We're engaged, and it wouldn't be right for me to go to a dance with another man.
But Jamie's been missing in action, you say, and...
Yes, and everybody says he's dead.
I'm sorry.
And if I went to a dance with someone else, it would be my way of saying to the world that I thought he was dead, too, and I don't want to say that. I just don't want to say that.
Julie, I don't think people would say that...
You better not stay here any longer.
Julia, if I said anything...
Please go. I must ask you to leave.
But, Julia...
Please.
Supper in a half hour, Jerry.
That smells great. Now, whatever do you put in your stew?
Cooking is my business.
I have to hand it to you, Martha. It's a miracle business. Now, evidently, it's done wonders for Eric. He's chopping wood. He's humming a tune.
Eric?
Yeah, as happy as a jaybird.
What's got into him?
You're cooking. Now, what else?
Oh.
Hello, folks. How's our happy little homestead?
Eric, darling, are you all right?
No, I'm not all right. I'm magnificent, spectacular.
What's gotten into you?
The French say, cherchez la femme.
Oh, you be quiet.
Oh, he's right.
Oh? Well, who is she?
Well, there may be one or two little complications there, but nothing I can't handle. Why didn't you tell me?
Tell you what?
Tell me you had a museum here.
Museum? Oh, there ain't no
It's
museum.
a wild place, and it's a gem. It's authentic to the tiniest detail.
Eric, please tell us what you're talking about.
Dedicated to the 1920s.
What is?
This museum.
Oh, but there isn't any museum.
Yes, there is.
Where?
Oh, come on now. Quit pretending. She works there. I suppose she's the curator.
Who?
Her name is Julia.
Julia.
Oh, you'd know who she is, Jerry, because she has to be the prettiest girl in town.
Eric, this museum, just tell us where it is.
But it's down the road from here. It can't be more than 2 miles. It has the most beautiful garden and lawn. And the house is a perfect example of late Victorian. I think it's called the Sanford House. It's the most beautifully kept... What are you looking at me like that for?
Eric, the Sanford House is an old ruin. It's falling apart.
Oh, but I was...
And it's so overgrown that if you didn't know it was there, you couldn't even see it from the road.
No, I was just inside, and it was...
Eric, are you sure that you...
I was inside the most beautiful...
Now, you think you'd better see a doctor, Eric, huh?
But I was.
Eric, do you want us to ride back there with you and prove it?
Are you saying that the girl, the house, that was all a dream? But I wasn't dreaming. I know I wasn't dreaming.
And he wasn't, because we were there too. Unless it's possible that we were dreaming also. Well, every young man should have a wonderful girl of his dreams, and it's just fine if that's where she stays. It's when she materializes that you can run into a problem. I shall materialize again shortly with Act 2. What happens to the past? Or put it this way, what is the past? Is it a record or an impression? Does it exist only as a rapidly receding and fading memory, or does it maintain a solidity and a substance? Who has not remarked at least once, where has the time gone? Does this mean we really believe that time goes somewhere? If so, where? Eric Mills is convinced he has found the answer.
I know I wasn't dreaming.
Maybe you were, Eric.
Everything was so real.
All this is coming out of your head. It's your fantasy.
But everything was so, I keep saying the word, authentic. She even knew your father's name, Jerry, Oscar.
Well, it's like Martha says, Eric. Now, this is what you know. And
I never knew your father's name was Oscar.
Of course you did. Not consciously, perhaps,
But I can swear I saw...
Yeah, Eric, now you did see it. Now, you wanted to see it. You know what I mean? I mean, for some reason, you got a notion that life was better in the 20s.
Wait a minute. Wait. 1920. Remember, Eric? Do you remember?
Remember what?
The Bartlesby Tavern and Inn.
No.
Oh, you do. Up in Connecticut. Mom and Dad took us there every summer.
What does this have to do?
There was that poem printed on the wall.
What poem?
About the year 1920. The year the tavern was built.
I don't remember anything about it.
Sure. Look, you weren't even 4 years old, and I recited the poem. And you were able to memorize it just from hearing me read it once. Oh, Mom thought you were a genius.
I don't know what you're talking about, Martha.
Listen, see, now, I was built in 1920 in a time of peace, as a place of plenty. Let no care or trouble enter... finish it for me, Eric.
For love and joy are at my center.
You see?
Well, what does that prove? I mean, that I could make up a whole thing about being back in the 20s?
You could do anything.
Jerry.
What I mean is, with his imagination, anything is possible.
Yes, and you've talked about the 20s.
Oh, maybe I have.
As a writer, as a poet, would you have rather lived then or now?
Oh, hey, now, what kind of question is that? He'd be dead now if he lived back then.
He knows what kind of question it is.
Whatever you say, I know where I was this morning.
Yes, Jerry. Where you always wanted to be. Back in the 20s when it was easier to be a poet.
Martha, everything is relative to when you were alive.
But you'd rather have been alive when Hemingway was young. With Fitzgerald, you'd want to be in Paris with Gertrude Stein and Picasso. You feel that people like them would be more apt to notice your worth than the people of today.
Well, what if that's true?
What if it's true?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the 20s were a more exciting time to be alive, but does that mean that I could just conjure them up? It's real. It's real. I knew it was real.
Oh.
Julia.
Oh, now, I said I could not go to that dance.
May I come in?
Well.
Just for a little while.
All right, but just a little while.
Julia, I had to come back to you.
Eric, if you're going to start that kind of talk, I'll have to ask you to leave. Right now. After all.
After all.
After
what?
all. I am an engaged girl. Oh, listen. Isn't that a swell number? Oh. Now, I promised Dad I wouldn't use that word.
What word?
Swell. Dad hates slang.
Julia, may I ask you a question? What year is this?
What kind of a question is that?
Oh, please, Julia.
Only this morning you saw the paper.
What year is it?
Is there a reason why you wouldn't know?
Could you tell me?
It is July 19th, 1921.
You sure of that?
Honestly, Eric.
What's that?
What's what?
Don't you hear it?
All I hear is a train.
That's what I mean, the train. There hasn't been a train here in...
What are you saying? That's the ODP.
The ODP?
The Omaha, Denver, and Pacific, silly. Everybody knows. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes. Yes, I'm sure.
You know, this afternoon I promised you a glass of lemonade. I think you could use some refreshment now. Excuse me.
I heard it. I know I heard it. Wait a minute. Hello?
Hello?
Information, please.
I can give you any information you want.
Do, you have a number for, Mr. Jerry Carraway?
Jerry Carraway? Well, I know Oscar spoils that child something fierce, but he ain't about to give a year-old baby a phone number of his own. Do you want Oscar's number?
What's the number of the movie theater in town?
Oh, why do you want to know?
I want to find out what's playing.
Well, ask me. I should know. There's a picture called Intolerance with just the greatest...
Oh, no. No.
What do you mean, no? I'm telling you what's playing at the movie theater.
I mean, it's wonderful.
That's what I heard, but a lot of folks say it's a little too serious. Now, over at Council Forks, they got a funny comedy with that fatty Arbuckle. Now, he is a scream.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anything else you want to know?
You promise you won't laugh?
Well, if it's funny, I can't promise.
What year is this?
You're a card, all right.
What year is it?
1921. Everybody knows that.
Thank you. Thank you. 1921.
And here we have some of Amy's famous lemonade. Isn't it good? I never knew if the boys were coming over for me. Or for the lemonade.
Julia.
What is it?
I'm so happy.
Oh, now just excuse me. Hello?
Julia?
Oh, what is it, Jean?
Julia, are you all right?
Sure. Why?
Well, some man placed a call from your home just before.
Yes?
And he sounded just a tiny bit peculiar to me.
Oh, come on, Jean.
I was just wondering, should I call Sheriff Gates?
Sometimes you are so silly.
Well, better be silly than sorry.
Good night. Eric, what did you say to scare Jean?
Jean?
The telephone operator.
I admit, I sounded crazy.
What did you say?
I asked her what year it was.
Oh, why do you have to keep asking? Don't you know?
Julia, I could never explain it. And you could never understand.
Then why bother?
I want to stay here, Julia.
Here?
Here.
Well, how would it look?
Well, we could get married.
But
You what?
There's Jamie.
World War I has been over for 3 years now.
What'd you call it? World War I?
If you haven't found him in those 3 years...
Why did you call it World War I?
He has got to be dead.
Why did you call it World War I?
Because in 20 years there's going to be World War II.
What? You're joking. Listen, there can't be any more wars. After all we went through, people aren't that stupid.
Do you believe that?
Well, what else can you believe?
Julia, you have got to tell me. Do you love Jamie?
Well, what business is that of yours?
I have to know.
We kept company for a while, and when he left for France, he asked me to wait for him, and could I say no?
Are you in love with him?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you in love with him?
Well, no. But I promised
You
that
can't make that kind of promise. You can't give him what you don't have. And what you don't have for him is love.
Well, how do you know?
Because you love me.
Well, what makes you think that
You love me, Julia. You have to love me.
Why?
Because it's right. Because it makes sense. It simply has got to be.
Oh, Eric.
Don't waste time, Julia. There is so little time. People don't realize how little time they really have. Come on.
Where?
For a walk.
But there's no place to go.
Oh, yes, there is. We'll go to town.
Well, there's nothing doing.
Yes, I'll show you.
You are having so much trouble with Dad's old car.
I can't get used to the way these gears shift.
Well, here we are.
It's beautiful.
Well, nothing ever happens here. There's the drugstore, and the hay and feed store, and the moving picture house. And they just took the sidewalks in for the night. That's a local joke, Eric. Oh, and the train.
Well, let's stop at the station.
Well, if somebody flags it down. Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Oh, it's old Lady Haskins. I don't want her to see me out with a fella. It'll be all over town. Take me home, Eric. Eric.
Yes, darling.
I think you better go.
Go?
It's late.
No, just sit by me for a while. Why am I thinking of a certain poem?
I don't know.
Why do I see the words? From too much love of living, from fear and hope set free, we thank with brief thanksgiving whatever gods there be, that no life lives forever, that dead men rise up never, that even the weariest river winds somewhere safe to sea.
Oh, I like that.
I believe it.
That no life lives forever, that dead men rise up never,
that even the weariest river
winds somewhere safe to sea. Oh, would you write that down for me, Eric?
Of course, darling,
Here's
of course.
a piece of paper and a pencil.
That
No
life lives forever.
Oh, Eric. Eric, I know now. I know in my heart that Jamie is dead, and I'm glad. I shouldn't have said that. But you see, now I know that our love, which is so sweet to us, will cause no one else pain.
And even the weariest river winds somewhere safe to sea. Here.
Oh, Eric, this is the first gift you ever gave me.
We're safe. We're safe here. It's just as I dreamed it would be.
Oh, that must be Dad calling from Washington, D.C. He's probably going to tell me about his meeting with the president. Well, I'll have more important news for him. And I want you to say hello to Dad. Hello, Daddy? Daddy?
Julia.
Oh, who is this?
Julia.
Jamie!
Yes, Julia. It's Jamie.
among the beautiful sounds of this beautiful world, we hear introduced a new note. And we know very well it must be a note of discord. And was the poet right? Is it true that dead men rise up never? Where has Jamie come from? And where is he going? I shall have the answers when I return shortly with Act 3. And suddenly, it's 1921 for Eric Mills, who wasn't even born then. 1921, a year of innocence, and most important, peace. Not just the absence of war, but peace. And Eric Mills has somehow sought it out as a refuge from the deceptions and the dejections of the jet age. He has even found Julia. But so has Jamie, Julia's doughboy fiancé, who evidently didn't die at Chateau Thierry.
Jamie, they told me you were dead.
They left me for dead. And for a long time, I didn't know who I was. And then I remembered. I remembered you. And I've come home.
Jamie, I've got to...
I just got off the train.
Jamie, dear.
I'm coming home, Julia. I'm coming home to you. And I'll run from the station. I'll run all the way.
Jamie, wait.
You remember how I could run all the way? I can run even faster.
Jamie, there is something I must tell you.
There is something I must tell you. I'll see you very soon.
It's Jamie. And he's alive.
Darling, you and I, we love each other.
But that was before...
Before what?
Before I knew Jamie was alive.
Our love has nothing to do with anyone else.
Jamie still believes...
A lie.
Oh, don't say it that way.
Well, how else can I say it? If you love me, then Jamie believes a lie.
Oh, Eric, please, go.
Go?
Quickly.
Why?
Before I get there.
No.
I'm frightened.
Don't be.
I'm frightened.
Here.
No, darling, I'm frightened. Not for me, for you.
Julia, there is nothing to be frightened of.
Is. You don't know him the way I do.
It doesn't matter.
He's got a violent temper. He'll be bad enough to kill you.
And I'll have something to say about that. Who says he can kill me?
Is it better if you kill him?
It's better for me.
Oh, Eric, I don't want you to...
To what?
To be hurt.
What can I do? I won't give you up.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
I am... Julia, you love me. I love you. We have a right to be happy.
And Jamie?
Sometimes there's only one way to say something. The only way I can say it is it's just too bad about Jamie.
But I don't want us to hurt him.
If Jamie is reasonable and sensible, why should anyone be hurt?
Eric, he's here. He's here.
Yes, darling.
Oh, I'm terribly frightened. Listen, Jamie is... crazy. He's always been a little bit crazy, but now...
Julia. Oh, Julia, darling, I've come back home.
Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Jamie, is that all you can say?
Jamie,
Hey, who's this?
Jamie Parsons. Eric Mills.
Who are you?
He's a friend.
Well, that's not exactly true. I'm more than a friend. Julia and I plan to get married.
You what?
You heard what I said.
Never mind. Never mind what you said. I want to hear what Julia says. Well? Come on now, is it true?
Oh, Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, what? Now, is it or isn't it true?
Now, Jamie, you and me, we never were really formally engaged.
Listen, I asked you to wait for me.
And I...
And you promised that you would.
Because you were going away.
Now, let's get this straight. You mean... You mean you are throwing me over for...
Listen, why don't we just all sit down and talk and tell it?
No, you aren't going to walk out on me. Now, never.
Just a minute.
Now, listen, I know you. You're slick and smart and smooth talking, and you hang around while a guy is off doing something important while he's fighting for his country, and you take advantage.
That's not the way it happened at all. Why don't we talk about this, huh?
All right, buddy. Now, look, I don't know who you are, but this is your lucky night. Now, you won't get hurt, provided you just walk out of here fast.
Look, I know how you feel, but she doesn't love you.
She's been in love with me since we're both 10 years old. Now, you tell him, Julia.
Jamie, listen.
But don't you see what she's trying to tell you? She doesn't love you.
Julia! Julia, you can't tell me that. He is not going to have you.
No. Jamie, don't. Please, put that pistol away.
No, he won't have you.
Please don't kill him.
Why not?
Please.
Who deserves killing more, huh?
Jamie, please.
What do you think kept me alive all those months in a hospital, thinking of you, dreaming of you, picturing how it would be when I got back home? Well, I am home now, and I know what I gotta do.
I won't let you.
Get away from him.
No.
Listen, ain't that just your style, huh? Hiding behind a woman's skirts.
I don't have to hide anywhere. You better let go of that gun. I'm gonna kill you. Let go!
Stop it, both of you! Stop it! Jamie?
Oh, is it Juliet? Oh, it is.
He's dead.
I didn't mean to. You saw that. I didn't want.
Who are you?
Eric. I'm Eric.
Who are you?
Eric. The man who loves you.
Oh, yeah. I need someone to love me. I need someone to love me now. And now that Jamie's gone, what can we do about Jamie?
There's only one thing I can do. Give myself up.
No, they'll put you in prison.
I have to pay for Jamie. I'll turn myself in.
No, Eric. Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
I have to do it.
Don't leave me.
Wait for me, Julia. Will you wait for me? I'm looking for the sheriff.
Eric, boy,
The sheriff. Where's the sheriff? I killed a man.
You didn't kill anybody.
Eric.
Where am I?
Eric, dear, drink this.
Now, what has gotten into you?
I killed a man.
What are you saying?
Who?
His name is Jamie. Jamie Parsons. We were having a fight over this girl I told you about, Julia Sanford.
Eric, you have got to listen now. Jamie Parsons was killed way back in 1920 or thereabouts.
No!
Please listen, Eric.
Don't tell me I'm crazy.
Eric, look, we found you wandering around on the road.
I was looking for the sheriff.
Eric, now way back after the first war, Jamie Parsons came home. Now, he was sweet on Julia Sanford. Now, he was also crazy. Maybe it was what they call shell shock in those days. But anyway, he tried to kill her, and somehow the gun went off and killed him.
No, I was there.
No. It was too much for Julia. After her father died, she shut herself up all alone. That big house, it just went to ruin. She kind of lost her marbles.
Oh, you're talking about someone else.
Now, her dad, Big Jim, was my godfather. And so we go over there regular. Now, we bring her food, and we'll see that she's still alive.
All right, let me show you.
No, Eric. I think the time has come for us to show you.
No. This can't be the place. The lawns, the gardens, flowers. It was like a park.
Eric, this is the Sanford place.
But the house, it's falling apart.
Now, you can see that...
But it was so beautiful just yesterday.
Oh, Eric, not yesterday. 50 years ago.
But I tell you...
Eric, dear, when we meet her, smile. She gets very upset if people don't smile.
Yeah, the bell. The doorbell. It's the same.
Who is it?
Morning, Miss Julie.
Who are you?
It's Jerry. You remember me, Miss Julie? I'm Jerry. Oscar Carraway's boy.
Oh, Jerry. How's your dad?
Why, just fine, Miss Julia, just fine.
My dad is still in Washington.
Huh?
I expect him home any time. But the president keeps him there. Oh, come in. Come in.
The phonograph. Martha's here, too.
Well, I am so glad. How are you, Martha?
Just fine, Miss Julia. And we brought a guest.
Oh, you know I don't like to meet strangers unless I have a chance to dress up first. Martha, you should have told me.
But he's not a stranger. Now, he's kin. That's Martha's baby brother.
Oh, well, that's different.
His name is Eric.
Well, how do you do, Eric?
How do you do, Miss Julia?
Amy? Amy, please bring a pitcher of lemonade and 4 glasses.
Eric, Amy's been dead 50 years.
Eric. Now, I knew when Eric, once a sweet boy, was home from the war.
You mean Jamie?
No. His name was Eric. We were in love. So much in love. We didn't stay long.
You all right, Miss Julia? I mean, is there anything you need?
He wrote down a poem for me. I look at it every day. Every day. Read it, Eric. It is so beautiful. Oh, be careful. That paper's old and falling apart. Just like me. And the ink has faded. Can you read it?
From too much love of living, from hope and fear set free, we thank with brief thanksgiving whatever gods there be, that no life lives forever. The dead men rise up never, but even the weariest river winds somewhere safe to sea.
La vida es sueño. Life is a dream, as the Spanish poet said. And even dreams are dreams. In that case, when are we dreaming? When are we awake? If we can't tell for sure who we are, how can we possibly know who we were? But whether here or in a dream, I, at least, shall be back shortly. Well, to complete our expedition into poetry, the greatest poet of them all said, "All the world's a stage, and all of us are players." And so this raises the logical question, are we a permanent cast? Do we keep coming back to play the roles for which we are best suited? Have we led these lives before? Well, you just listen to us again, and for an hour anyhow, you'll be able to lead a brand new life. Our cast included Tony Roberts, Bryna Rayburn, Marion Seldes, and Earl Hammond. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome this time to the grave, Not what lies beyond it, but what used to lie in it, safe in the peace of death. Unless the resurrectionists were abroad. Do you know what a resurrectionist is, or was? Well, no matter. By the time this tale is told, you will. Not by me, but by the man who did tell it some 100 years ago. Let me introduce you to Cameron Fergus.
A glass of rum, in heaven's name, landlord. It's cold enough in here to send a man to the grave. And a grave's no place to be. No place to be at all. Begin or end it all with the fact that I am a drunkard, an alcoholic. I have been so ever since I can remember, 30 years or more. I do not like remembering. It's why I drink. There is no excuse for my existence. I am worth nothing to anybody, except I'm afraid to die. Afraid to be laid fresh in the grave because I fear my body will not lie there in peace, no more than my soul. So I try only to stay alive and forget. There is no hope for me anywhere in this world or in the next.
Our mystery drama, The Body Snatchers, was adapted from the Robert Louis Stevenson classic especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Howard Da Silva. The scene is a little pub in Debenham, England. Where is Debenham? It doesn't really matter. An isolated little town not far from London or the stream of life in general. There are a couple of public houses there, and the George is as good or as bad as the others. It just happens to be where Fergus drinks his 5 glasses of rum every night. A strange, bizarre figure that the town long ago accepted, or, if you will, disregarded. But tonight is not an ordinary night in Debenham, as Ansa Mary, another habitué, is giving Fergus the latest news.
The squire himself, on his way to the new railway station, struck down as by the finger of God, as his carriage passed the old George here. They got him upstairs to the best room, and they telegraphed off to London for the great men's doctor. Oh, this is a night to remember.
As it must to all men. I didn't mean that, Harry. God speed his doctor on the way, and to keep him out of the cold earth.
Well, he's in a bad way. The landlord thought maybe you'd ever look at him.
Me? Why me?
Well, wouldn't be the first time you've shown your skill. I remember the time old Maud Brinkle dislocated her elbow and Alfie Price's boy, Richard, broke his leg. You fixed him up real nice, you did.
A simple fracture and an even simpler reduction. Any farmer could have taken care of either.
Well, not like you did. Not by a long shot. Wasn't you set out to be a doctor once? Or maybe even got to be one?
Why don't you learn to mind your own business, Harry?
Well, no offense, old chum. Most of them years we've been drinking together, and did I ever hold back anything from you?
Some of us are by nature open. Others keep ourselves to ourselves. Not that anybody could ever say I had anything to hide. I sat there looking down to the bottom of my glass, swirling that last memory-drowning drink of rum, and thinking to myself the size of the lie I had just said. Oh, it had a kind of truth. Nobody in Debenham could say I had anything to hide. But I knew what black sins I had to hide from the world. And with enough liquor, even sometimes from myself.
Well, listen to that, Fergus, will you? 11's. And our innkeeper isn't here to chase us out at closing time. Too busy upstairs poking his big nose into the great doctor at work, trying to bring the old squire back to life. Not much chance of that, I'd say.
You sneaked up and had a look, did you?
Well, I tried, but no luck. Door shut fast.
But I saw the squire on the way in before you got here. His face was all blown up like a balloon and red as one of them lobsters.
How was his breathing?
Well, when they brought him in, he wasn't breathing not at all. And then sudden like he was, but with a sort of rattle in his chest. After that, maybe a minute or so, he stopped again.
Chain Stokes.
What's that you say?
Classic symptoms, apoplexy. Probably irreversible. The breathing pattern formalized as a syndrome by Dr. John Chain, a countryman of mine, and Dr. William Stokes, an Irishman by birth. A sure forerunner of cardiac failure.
Hey, all them big words, you lost me.
Did I? No matter. Your prognosis is probably as accurate as his physician's will be, if indeed the squire is not a corpse already.
Hey, gloomy one you are.
I wonder now where they'd bury him.
Who, the squire? Oh, we'll go right in the family crypt.
In a crypt? Above ground, then, he should be safe enough. I wonder that I didn't see the doctor arrive. Did he come by train?
Lord, no. You missed it all right. Whipped right off the train into old George's cab.
I wonder how I missed the arrival. What did this great medico look like?
Oh, he was, tall, white-haired, but he moved as brisk as a colt, dressed in the finest broadcloth and white linen, great gold watch and studs and spectacles of the same precious metal.
Yes, there before the grace of God go. And what was the name of this paragon?
This what?
This man of undoubted success.
Oh, McFarlane.
Say that again.
What, the name?
Yes.
McFarlane.
No other name?
Dr. Wolfe McFarlane. What's the matter with you, Fergus? You've broken the glass, wasted the rum. Oh, and you've cut yourself.
Never mind that. Wolfe McFarlane. You're sure of that?
Well, it's how he introduced himself. Why, do you know him?
Know him? There's nobody knows him better than me. More's the pity. More is the pity and the shame. So the past I had shut out, with some success and a great deal more rum, came flooding back. Pictures flashed across my mind in a kaleidoscope. Stop-action photographs of disembodied arms and heads. The grisly jokes bandied about over the poor defenseless corpses that passed beneath our hands and were stripped barren by our razor-sharp knives. But it all might have been a bright dedication and a proud way of life, except for Wolfe McFarlane and his kind. For every one of us, the end was the triumph, but the means, heaven help the few of us who has to face it. And then, suddenly, there were footsteps on the stairs coming down, closer and closer to me, and I was about to face the man who had tempted me to sell my future. The man who could live with his vileness because he had no conscience and had left me to eke out my life dirty and despairing, afraid to do the only thing I really wanted to die.
You're as white as a sheet, Fergus. Don't take on so. There might be two men with the same name.
Shh! My sincere condolences, but the squire was virtually a dead man from the moment the stroke hit him. Nothing could have saved him.
That's him. That's his voice.
Forgive me for my abrupt leave-taking, but my coach is waiting and I cannot miss the train.
Well, here he goes for the door. If you want to make sure you do know him, you better move fast.
I must see him face to face. McFarlane.
Yes?
Toddy.
Huh?
Toddy McFarlane.
I'm afraid, sir, you have the better of me. I don't believe we are acquainted.
Oh, we are acquainted, all right. Look close. I want you to recognize me.
I've told you... Good Lord. Cameron Fergus.
Yes. Did you think I was dead, too? That we are all so easy shut of old acquaintance?
Oh, hush, man. For the love of God. Let the dead past bury itself.
Not ours. Nothing stayed buried decently then, did it, Wolfe?
Oh, now come, Cameron. We are both a little shaken at this chance encounter. I hardly knew you, I confess at first, but
I am overjoyed. Overjoyed to have this opportunity. Unfortunately, I must not fail the train, so if you'll forgive me...
Forgive you?
Well, I meant for running, but, well, let me see. Well, yes, of course, yes. You shall give me your address, and you can count on early news from me.
Put away your gold pen and your false friendship.
But I want to do something for you, Fergus. I can see, forgive me, that you are somewhat out at elbows. We must take care of that.
Money?
Well...
Money from you? The money I had last from you is lying where I cast it in the rain and mud.
What is the matter with you, Fergus? Now, what is it you want?
I wish I knew. Revenge for Jeannie and the others. An accounting for the wasted rum-soaked derelict you made me. I thought long ago the hand of God, like the squire upstairs, must have struck you down. Perhaps I was appointed for that.
Fergus, Cameron, I beg of you. You've been drinking and you are not in your right mind. Now, don't do anything. What is that you have in your hand?
Don't you remember?
Jeannie's hatpin.
The one you gave her. Would it not be poetic in God's justice to drive it into your throat, up slanting through the mouth till it lodged in the brain, or between the 5th and 6th ribs, driven straight into your black heart?
Help! Have you got out of your mind? Help!
Here, Fergus, take it easy.
Help me!
Stay out of this, Harry!
But you...
If you value your life, stay back.
Don't. You can't kill me, Fergus.
You're right, I can't. I should, but I can't. Get out of my sight. Catch your train. Go.
Whip up your horses. We want to take that train. Lord above, Fergus, what got into you? Put that long hat-pin away. That's a dangerous instrument. More like one of them Italian stilettos.
It was Jeannie's.
Yes, sure it was. Some pretty sparklers, all right. Must have cost a pretty penny, too, but let's put it away and sit down and have a nice little snort for the road, eh?
Yes, drink. Get me drunk. Wipe it out, the past. Let me sleep. And if only I could never wake again.
Yes, right as rain, old chummy. Yeah, just what the doctor ordered. That's a funny one, all right. With all the doctors around this night, like the gentleman who just left.
Don't call him gentleman.
Well, I mean, when a man's become a doctor...
No matter what he thinks he's become, that devil is what he began. A resurrectionist he began, and in his heart, that's the way he'll die.
A resurrectionist? It's a profession that flourished in the early 19th century. Profession, did I say? It was rather a crime. The more familiar names are ghoul, grave robber, body snatcher, the conscienceless night people who provided cadavers for the medical schools, the cold-blooded legion of the damned who, if a corpse was not to be found, provided a fresh one from the living. I'll return shortly with Act 2. In one of the greatest speeches in the English-speaking theater, Hamlet, the tortured Prince of Denmark, wrestled with the problem, to be or not to be, and came to the conclusion that conscience doth make cowards of us all. Cameron Fergus, though far less innocent than the tragic Dane, as a young man found himself caught in the same wedge. But when he made his decision, he found not death, but a life of remorse and dishonor.
I was the only child of 2 elderly parents. By my early 20s, they were both gone, leaving me a small but comfortable income. Even in those days, I already considered myself a man about town. But my vices were minor, and inside I had a craving for something more fulfilling in life. Both those lacks were satisfied when I fell under the spell of Wolf McFarlane. We met first at the house of Jeannie McRoberts, a young woman who epitomized everything pure and sweet to me, and whom I secretly hoped to marry one day. Oh, Jeannie, this music's too slow.
It's romantic.
Well, maybe that's what I meant. Let's sneak out for a walk in the garden.
Oh, no. It's not the music that's too slow for you, Cameron.
Oh, let's suppose it was.
I wouldn't trust you out there all alone.
You walked out with him.
Who?
The tall one there, dancing with Maggie Dyack.
Wolf McFarlane. Oh, well, it's the first time he's our guest, and besides, it was still twilight then.
He's a dandy, all right. And he has all of you girls making eyes at him. Where's he from?
Oh, Glasgow, I think. He's here in his second or third year as a medical student, working under Dr. Knight.
I suppose he's turned your head, too, huh?
He did when we danced. Oh, what could be more exciting than being a doctor anyway? Someone who can make you well if you're ill.
Well, maybe I'd better consider taking up the profession myself, so I won't lose you.
So, Cameron, you've a taste for being a doctor, eh?
I can think of no higher calling.
Well, that's flattering. Have you the talent for it?
I stood high in my class at the university.
Oh, you've a brain, all right, I've no doubt. At least so Miss McRoberts informed me.
Did she now?
But when I spoke of being a doctor and talent, I meant other things.
Such as?
Have you a strong stomach? Can you stand the sight of blood?
I wouldn't turn from it.
Have you the nerves of steel?
I don't exactly know what you mean.
Could you take a scalpel and split a man or a woman from breastbone to pubis with a steady hand? Could you open the stomach and cut out a diseased organ? Could you amputate a leg or an arm?
I'm not exactly sure it was being a surgeon I had in mind.
Oh, never mind the live bodies, lad. It's the dead ones you have to cut through first. There's no other way to learn anatomy firsthand, and not all of them are fresh from the grave.
What does that mean?
You'll find out for yourself. How are your scruples?
I think you're just having fun with me. I'm sorry I asked. I don't need you to further my ambition. There are other ways.
Oh, nay, nay, nay. Hold, lad, don't be so hot-tempered. I was pulling your leg a little, but less than you might think. And you do need me more than you think.
Why?
My recommendation to the doctor in charge of the medical school, as it happens, would open the doors for you like that.
Would you give it to me?
I just might, in exchange for something.
What?
The rest of your waltzes with Miss Jeannie. She's the only girl here with any grace or style, like a feather in the wind. And I love to dance. Is it a bargain?
It's the one I can't control. It's Jeannie who says who she'll dance with.
But if you ask her and tell her why?
I'll tell her on one condition.
And what is that?
That she saves the last one for me.
Well, I can hardly blame you. And if we are to be friend and colleagues, why should I be greedy, eh? Shake hands on the bargain.
Shake.
Ha. To a long and close future together, Fergus. We can use a man like you.
I take that as a compliment. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That I should ever have seen the day I thanked the man I have spent my life cursing and reviling. What an innocent I was. I kept my part of our bargain in my naivete and excitement, not noticing that Jeannie's reluctance to change her dance card was neither long nor strong. My head was spinning too much with other future dreams, that I was to become a doctor. For Wolf McFarlane kept his part of the bargain, too.
So, Wolf, this is the young man you've spoken so highly of.
Only because he deserves the recommendation, Dr. Kirk. He's a man we can use in more ways than one.
Splendid, splendid. We're always in need of recruits, Mr. Fergus. Wolf here tells me you are a young man
with a fine taste for a night of romping, and wake up bright-eyed and clear-headed of a morning with no hangover, either physical or mental. Well, that makes us three of a kind. And that's what it takes to make a mark in our profession, lad. Stamina, staying power. We have to do many things that would make an ordinary mortal's blood run cold.
If you'll try me, sir, I don't think you'll find me wanting.
Well spoken, Cameron Fergus. I like you. What do you say, Wolf? Shall we make him one of us?
My vote is aye.
Well, then so is mine. I leave it up to you to initiate him into the mysteries and secrets of his new profession. But softly, slowly, mind you. We can't scare him off till he's well hooked, eh? We must show the best side before he sees the worst.
You're very kind, Dr. Kirk, but I know you're only testing my resolve. How could so noble a profession have a bad side?
Well, Dr. Kirk meant only, I'm sure, that it has a difficult side.
Oh, to be sure, to be sure. No prize worth winning can easily be come by. Work hard, and let Wolf here help you over the rough spots. For my money, you couldn't have a finer guide.
A finer guide, that much was true. A guide to hell and damnation. But I'd never have realized it then. Wolf was my friend, mentor, and convivial partner. I found that I was a natural doctor, nay, more than that, perhaps a surgeon. But in that field of medicine lay all the seeds of disaster. For to study anatomy, one needs a body, and you cannot practice on a live one. I was not so innocent that I didn't know the answer to that. But it was not till the end of my first year, when I moved in with Wolf, that I had to face it. Wolf, wake up.
What? Never, dog. What hour is it?
It wants 10 to 3.
And you wake me? Damn it, Fergus.
Someone at the door.
Oh, of course. Reason I bid you move in tonight. Now, get dressed while I answer that.
But what is
it? Don't ask questions. Do as I say.
Governor, I was off to
No, sorry for the delay. Just give me a moment or two, eh?
We have a real load tonight. We'll need help.
Oh, don't worry. We have it. Meet us at the usual place, eh? Chuck me my trousers there, Cameron.
What is it?
Do I have to spell it out? The Resurrectionists. And tonight they have a cart full. Tonight is your baptism. You going to let me down?
Well, enough in hindsight to know what I should have answered to that. But I was young, and I thought he was my friend. And so, half-dressed, half-sober, half-anesthetized, we went to the building that housed the dissecting lab and began the nights, or I should say, the early morning's work.
All right. Put it down. There we are. Is that the last?
Not tonight. One more.
Fine. Before you bring it up, let me introduce you to Dr. Cameron Fergus.
How do you do?
The gentleman prefers to leave his name out of these transactions. Just call him Digger.
That's me, by nature and profession.
When you bring the last one up, Dr. Fergus will pay you. The usual tariff. Now, Fergus, I'm going to have to leave you in charge.
Why did you call me doctor when I'm not even...
You've got a lot to learn. We need the title to keep these fellows in hand.
What do you mean?
I'll explain it to you soon. Now, first off, here is a key. It unlocks the safe there. Now, there's money, cash in there, and I'll tell you just how much to disperse. But be sure the safe is securely locked before these ruffians return. Now, I have to get to Dr. Kirk right away and tell him what luck we've had tonight. He'll want to make arrangements for dissecting and anatomy classes tomorrow.
It seems strange Potter's field death rate was so high this one night.
In this part of our business, it is well to question as little as possible.
I followed the easy path to do as I was told, to suspend thinking, pay off the grave robbers, and twine myself irrevocably in a practice which, no matter how we as doctors might believe its morality, in those days, could involve death by hanging. But if I thought of it much, after the Body Snatchers were come and gone and paid, it was all forgotten when Dr. Kirk joined us.
A magnificent day in our lives, gentlemen. I congratulate you both for your part in this, while at the same time I need not enjoin you to the secrecy we must maintain. My congratulations for tonight, and carry on the good work, gentlemen. I bid you good morning.
High words, Dr. Kirk. And we are left with all the dirty work.
What do you mean?
The time has really come for you to stop asking the very answerable question. In the name of medicine and research, we gather bodies, right?
But that is no crime. Using already dead flesh, which can render up to us secrets of how to handle living flesh, is not a valid crime.
On that basis, you have an argument. If the flesh is already moribund. But body snatching is a rewarding crime. And if there is no dead body to snatch, with the kind of man who plies this trade, do you think he would hesitate to wait for the flesh to die if his source of supply ran low?
Oh, good Lord, what are you saying?
Oh, don't pretend innocence. If your conscious brain will not admit the truth, your subconscious one knows it. And you signed for the bodies tonight. Willy-nilly, you are with us from here on in.
With us from here on in. For the first time I realized I was trapped. For a moment, I even thought my friends had made use of me. But then I thrust that thought aside. They were pioneers, like myself, taking the only means to great ends. And if indeed it were true that an occasional body had not met a natural death, why, by all reason, it could only be someone who was a criminal, who had sought it himself. So I reasoned, and with another drink of fiery scotch to soothe my addled brains, soothed my burning conscience. This would be the end of all connection with the resurrection men, I swore, not knowing how devastatingly empty the oath I took was destined to be.
Poor Cameron Fergus, lulled into the crime of accessory after the fact, controlled by men wiser in the ways of vice than he, who would soon involve him as accessory before the fact, and even worse. I'll return shortly with Act 3. Most doctors of those days were not about to be troubled by the material they dissected. Only the few who trafficked in procuring the illegal material were involved in matters of conscience. And most of them, sad to say, found rich enough rewards to still what small worm of morality might squirm within their hearts. The resurrectionists were well paid, and the men who bought the dreadful merchandise each made their own defenses.
But I lean on you and Wolf, Cameron boy. You're my right and left arms. A constant supply of cadavers is the prime necessity of the school.
I know, but where they come from is...
My boy, that's no question for us. They bring the body, we pay the price. Quid pro quo, as they say in the Latin text.
But, sir...
Let's have no more buts, Fergus. And no questions, for conscience' sake.
But that's exactly the problem, sir. I watch these ruffians come in before the dawn, in the dead of night, and I cannot help but be struck by their hangdog looks, their eyes averted. I want to have no part of it, sir.
If you expect to stay here and achieve your degree, I tell you, you must be part of it. I'm sorry to be so blunt, Fergus, but that's the way it is. And I have no further time to talk to you.
Wolf, help me. We are condoning, nay, even promulgating murder.
Fergus, you think too much. Accept your duty and concentrate on learning to be a doctor, not a policeman.
And what is my duty?
Take what is brought, pay the price, and avert your eyes from the evidence of any crime.
What decisions I might have made in my first revulsion, I'll never know. For at that time, Jeannie came back, and the renewal of our acquaintance put everything else out of my head. She was fascinated about my future as a doctor, the future of all of us. I'd rather have you tell me about Paris and Rome.
Oh, that's all for the future. What I want to know about is the present. How soon will you be a doctor?
I'm afraid that takes a little time.
And Dr. McFarland, how is he?
Well, though he's nearer it than me, doctor is still a courtesy title.
I wish you'd tell me all about your lives, and what they're like.
It's not a subject for a girl.
Well, Wolf McFarland didn't mind talking about it.
Well, that's his business. If you'd prefer
And
him...
don't be a silly boy. And don't be jealous. I'm only interested because he's become your friend.
The more fool I that I thought he was. He'd already been a beginning, but now he was to be the cause of my complete downfall. It happened so casually. One afternoon after work in the lab, I dropped into a neighborhood tavern to meet Wolf sitting with a small, pale man, dark eyes very close together, seemingly refined at the start, but to reveal himself later as coarse, vulgar, and vicious.
The tales I could tell you about our old friend Toddy here.
Toddy?
Sure. Toddy McFarland. What, has he kept his nickname secret from all of you?
It seems so. Why Toddy?
Because every time we pulled off a rough one, we'd drink a toddy to our trickiness. Eh, Toddy?
I wish you wouldn't call me that.
Drink up and enjoy the good living it brings all of us.
Oh, for God's sakes, watch your mouth.
Well, now, will you listen to our preacher? Pay no attention to him, Cameron. Is that your given name?
Yes, but...
I may be a pretty bad fella myself, but Toddy here, Toddy McFarland, could put us all to shame. Here, look, have a look at him. If looks could kill. Toddy hates me because I know too much about him.
I told you don't call me that confounded...
I'll call you as I please, and what can you do to keep my mouth shut, Toddy? Just look at him, Cameron Fergus. Did you ever see the lads play knife? He'd like to do that. All over my body.
We medicals have a better way than that. When we dislike a dead friend of ours, we dissect him. Why I made that stupid, ugly joke, I'll never know. I longed to snatch the words back the moment they were said. Would to God I could have. I was to regret them the rest of my life. I should have admitted before this that I was well paid for my work of receiving nocturnal corpses. No questions asked. It was 3 nights after I had met Gray, and I was on duty at the empty dissecting rooms when...
Come on, Fergus. Damn it, man. Would you have me caught red-handed?
Wolf, what are you doing here at this hour?
Shh. Ask no questions. I have some merchandise in the gig. Help me in with it.
It was a small enough figure, wrapped in a winding sheet, and it was no job for the 2 of us to bring him in and stretch him on a table. But for some reason, Wolf McFarland was breathing as heavy as if we had lifted a horse.
All right. All right, sealed and delivered. Let's have it signed.
What?
Get to the safe. I want you to pay me and give me the receipt.
Since when did you turn resurrectionist?
We're short of bodies, are we not? Nothing for the class to start on tomorrow? Come on. Let's get the transaction over with.
Patience, man. We've the rest of the night. And your friend is in no hurry anymore.
Sign the paper and give it to me.
Well, don't you want the money first?
The paper.
All right. My signature for posterity.
And for me, this is all I need.
And the money?
My present to you, old chum. The finder's fee, too. You've been working too hard as it is. A man ought to have some reward. Why don't you take my rig and slip on home? I'll cover for you for the rest of the night.
It's late enough for both of us to leave.
Oh, I think I'll stay. Pre-dissect the derelict there. Ready to pass around to our eager students when they arrive. McNeil's working on the lower extremities. Sharples is screaming for a liver.
What's the matter with you? You seem unnerved. Who in...
No, don't take that sheet away, don't. Very well. You had to know. Now you know why I had to have your signature of acceptance.
It's Gray. The man who...
A man who could have ruined all of us. We're in this boat, sink or swim. Would you want your neck on the gallows like Burke? This man is dead and is valuable to the advancement of medicine. Accept the fact of his death. Never question the how. You're one of us still, young Fergus. Forever.
So I was already trapped. I began a long lifetime of drinking in earnest. I was neither surprised nor that much affected when Jeannie turned from me. Even the fact that I heard by the grapevine, certainly not from his lips, that Wolfe was squiring her about, failed to rouse me. I felt myself damned forever. I wasn't good enough for her. But youth is resilient, and once I had digested my involvement, I learned to live with it. Even thought to go back to Jeannie again. As it happened, I chose, accidentally, the day that Wolfe was to receive his sheepskin as a doctor.
I never realized what real love was until I met Wolfe.
Puppy love, real love. Would you like me to tell you about this man you worship so? What he's really like?
Don't be so silly and jealous.
I'm not thinking of myself, Jeannie. It's you. I want to protect you from...
I am quite old enough to handle my own affairs.
Oh, I doubt that. You couldn't understand a man like Wolfe.
Take your hands off me.
Damn it, if I have to shake some sense into that lovely head, I'll do it with my hands. If I can't, with words.
Fergus, you're getting me. Don't.
Fergus, have you lost your mind?
I'm trying to save her from you.
Well, get your hands off her, you little fool.
Oh, leave me go.
If you insist, remember you asked for it.
Oh, you didn't hurt him, Wolfe.
I imagine I did. He'll have a sore jaw tomorrow. As sore as my head. But what else could I do?
Well, nothing else. I don't ever want to see Fergus anymore.
I wasn't unconscious. I could hear all of this. And I thought at that moment that life could scarcely deal with me more harshly. Fool that I was, with the worst yet to come.
Special delivery tonight, Fergus, me boy. 5. Douse the light till we trail him in.
Come ahead. Stack 'em where you will. I wouldn't care if Queen Victoria was one of them. I've had my fill of this job.
Nobody likes it much, but it's a living, as we say in the trade. Might as well get something from the dead.
I went about mechanically, mind drugged by liquor, body reacting out of sheer habit, and then... the horror of horrors looked up at me from the dissecting table. Her blue eyes, open, staring with a startled horror that she could come to this. Jeannie McRoberts, a candidate for the cold-blooded dissection, candidate for jokes and the discard by the morrow's crew of medical students.
Jeannie, I'm just as horrified as you, Fergus.
She died no natural death. There were marks of violence on her, possible strangling.
But why?
I can't tell you why, or guess at least. She was pregnant. She was carrying a child.
How do you know?
Dr. Kirk was with us first thing in the morning. Everyone attends dissections. Jeannie was with child.
Do you suppose she killed herself?
You know she didn't. Jeannie was murdered. I'm not going to let her die unrevenged.
You're not suggesting I had anything to do with it.
Exactly.
I'd reconsider that statement if I were you.
Oh.
If anyone did kill her, and mind you, I'm not saying they did, You would be the logical suspect. She did spurn you.
Yes, but...
Let me remind you about the bodies that you have received for dissection and signed for. Many of which you must have known died not natural deaths. Gray, for example. If you want to place any necks in the noose, go ahead. But give first a care to your own, my lad. I warned you when you began this business. You should be without a conscience.
He knew me too well, Harry. Conscience I had, but no courage.
You mean that distinguished doctor who just left murdered the girl?
Why not? An obscure Scottish girl he could never have married since his ambitions reached so high.
Well, I'll tell you something. Man to man, I'm surprised you didn't kill him right out of hand. If your story be true.
Oh, the story is true, right enough. And the proof of it all is that I didn't.
Here, finish your drink, old chap.
Thanks. Oh, strong enough. False courage, maybe. I never had the real thing. Else none of all of this would have happened.
Well, at least you had some conscience.
Which finally has caught up with me.
Here, what have you done?
Jeannie's hatpin. The weapon of remorse.
Good almighty, Fergus. You drove the hatpin straight into your heart. Here, let me help.
By all means. Pull it out, Harry.
Oh.
Don't hesitate. Pull it out.
Good, now. Grit your teeth now. There. Now that'll be better.
Don't you believe it? Only thing might have saved me was to leave it there. Now I'm sure to die. One thing at least I did right in my life. Just do me one favor, Harry.
What's that?
I've enough money. See me buried above ground in a strong, tight crypt. Don't let me be had at the last by the Body Snatchers. Wherever I go, let me go whole and accept my judgment. Whatever it is. Oh.
A curious and chilling story, with no moral that I or any man can quite offer. The raw material for the study of medicine that today has prolonged life by almost twice as much as could be expected in the last century is no longer needed so much. Thank heaven the ghoul, the body snatcher, and the resurrectionist man have passed from our lives, or deaths, since that was their concern. I'll be back shortly. If even for a moment our story disturbed you, out of evil cometh much good. Every major disease, every broken bone, diseased muscle, nerve degeneration has had to be studied at length, at agonizing length, by the long list of doctors who have pioneered cures or treatments that we today take for granted. For whatever sins may have been committed in the past, they were a very small part in the march of medicine. And today, we are their beneficiaries. Our cast included Howard Da Silva, Patricia Elliott, Ralph Bell, Kurt Benson, and Ken Harvey. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Some very strange things are about to happen, wherein the basics of normal living are drastically altered. And two people become lost in... Well, you'll hear. It'll all come out as we go along. Norma and Hal, he's Harold Glenford III, have inherited an ancient brownstone on New York's East 58th Street. Hal hasn't seen the house or the uncle who left it to him since he was a little boy. He doesn't know what to expect any more than Norma does, as they inspect the old house now for the first time since it became their own.
Yeah, you need a machete to get through these cobwebs.
Well, nobody's lived here in 10 or 15 years, you said. But it's going to be beautiful. A little belt tightening, maybe, but we can make it.
I don't advise tightening your belt. No kidding, Norma. The baby's due in April. You're going to have to stop working pretty soon. It's not going to be easy on my salary alone.
Oh, nobody said it was going to be easy.
And there are the ghosts, of course.
Cut it out.
Well, now, according to Uncle George, that's the reason nobody's been living here. The ghosts drove Uncle George himself out. That's what he said. And he couldn't keep the place rented, so he just gave up.
Okay. A house like this needs a ghost.
Our mystery drama, The Fatal Connection, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Fielden Farrington and stars Jennifer Harmon and Nick Pryor. It is sponsored in part by Contact, the 12-hour cold capsule, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One. Many scientists and philosophers see time as a road along which we pass, or a river along which we drift, the future waiting for us just around the bend ahead, the past obscured but not obliterated by the turn we just made. The rest of us, ordinary mortals that we are, find the moment in which we are currently trapped just about all we can handle. Norma and Hal Glenford have moved into their old house on East 58th Street. The furniture from their former 3-room apartment only half fills the first floor. The second floor and the attic-like third floor will have to wait.
Except, Hal, we'll have to have a nursery. You know, a baby's bedroom.
You stand there, the living proof of it.
And there's no place for it on the first floor, so we'll have to find a place on the second floor, right?
Logical.
Then our bedroom will have to be on the second floor, too, don't you see? I mean, we have to sleep on the same floor with the baby.
Hey, you're right. I hadn't thought of it before.
The back room on this floor makes a very small bedroom anyway. We could use it as a sort of, music room or study or whatever.
You make us sound very prosperous.
We will be. Lawyers are always rich when they get a little older.
I like the sound of that, Norma. Doesn't make any sense, but I find the simplicity of it comforting.
So shall we go upstairs and see what there's for a bedroom and a nursery?
Okay. I'll go first and clear away the cobwebs.
Oh, we'll carpet this stairway. Later, of course.
When we're rich. Now, that's an old bedroom, as I recall. One of the doors is a linen closet. There are 5 doors, so that leaves just 3 rooms.
One more than we need. Well, this would be all right for our bedroom. It's much nicer than the little room downstairs, don't you think?
Okay. Bedroom here. That takes care of us. Now about Junior. Hey, this door's locked.
Well, just stuck, probably.
No, it's locked. Why would anybody lock an inside door? That's odd. Where did I put that bunch of keys the lawyer gave us?
In your jacket pocket, dummy. You think maybe there's a treasure hidden in that room?
Or ghosts. It's been locked for a while. a gun. Right out of the 19th century. It looks like what used to be an upstairs sitting room or something of the kind.
Oh, Hal, just look at that secretary. It must be 100 years old, and it looks just as solid as...
Oh, my gosh, a telephone.
One of those old wall phones. I've seen pictures of them. Shouldn't it have a crank? Oh, I'd like to furnish the whole house just like this. You know, everything to match the house itself. I wouldn't change a thing in here.
Well, I could live without the cobwebs and the dust.
Well, I'll speak to the upstairs maid about it. Good help is so hard to come by lately, my dear. Have you noticed?
Oh, I have indeed.
It's the times, I'm afraid. Everything seems to be going to pot. What? Darling, would you believe it? The butcher today wanted 18 cents a pound for steak. Just plain old beef steak. 18 cents a pound.
Well, we might as well eat at Delmonico's if it costs that kind of money to cook at home.
Oh, let's, shall we?
This evening? Well, why not? I'll order a hack. Excuse me, my dear. Operator, I'd like a hansom cab sent to 621 East 58th Street at once. At once, understand? We'll be going to Delmonico's. Let's go back downstairs where the 20th century is and see if there are any hot dogs in the refrigerator.
Actually, though, I guess 18 cents was hard to come by in those days, as $2 is today.
Not for old Grandpa Glenford, it wasn't. Great-grandpa, that would be. He was filthy rich.
Was he the one who built this house?
No, I don't know that he built it. He was the first Glenford to own it.
Whatever happened to all that money?
Gave it away.
Gave it away?
That's what my father told me. Maybe it was just a figure of speech.
You know what we ought to have? We ought to have a bottle of champagne to break over the bow of the house, or the stern, or whatever they break it, if houses had them.
Well, now, if you look in the refrigerator, just to the right of the meat drawer, you'll find a quart of excellent domestic champagne cooling. To be taken internally, though, not broken over anything.
Oh, what a doll you are. Shall we have it now?
Well, I thought after dinner, but if you'd rather...
What was that?
Well, it sounded like somebody at the door.
Well, what's the matter with the doorbell?
Well, honey, I don't know. Maybe it's broken. Maybe somebody likes the knocker better. I'll see who it is. Yes? What can I do for you?
Your hansom cab, sir? For Delmonico's, I believe?
It was a joke of some kind, Norma.
Who played it if it was a joke? I mean, who knew you made that nutty pretend phone call upstairs? I don't see how it could be a joke.
Well, then, a coincidence. There are hansom cabs still operating over at Central Park.
Oh, sure. And one of them just happened to drive all the way across town. And as long as it was in the neighborhood, the driver just thought he'd knock at our door and tell us our cab was here to take us to Delmonico's. Oh, come on, Hal.
Well, okay. You explain it.
I can't. That's what's bothering me.
Well, you don't think... No, you surely don't think...
No. No, of course I don't. What did the driver say when you sent him away?
Well, something about it was a funny mistake for the office to make if I didn't order a hansom. He was grumpy about losing a fare.
Did he look like a real hansom cab driver? I mean, did he look like somebody you've seen driving a hansom around the park today, or was he, well, you know, dressed like the real old-timey ones?
I didn't really notice. Look, now, why don't we just forget him? Why don't we just have dinner and see what's on TV and drink our champagne and go to bed? I've got to go to work in the morning, even if I do live in a mansion. Especially since I do.
Here's to great-grandfather Glenford.
Look, take it easy with that stuff, will you? The bottle's half gone already. You're a novice at this, remember?
And here's to hansom cab drivers everywhere. Hey, you know what we ought to do?
There isn't any more champagne, if that's what you mean. I only bought one bottle.
No. What we ought to do is something about that phone upstairs.
Yeah, like have it taken out.
No, I want to order something. A new dress, something like that. I mean, if they send over cabs when you order them, why not?
You'd better let me finish this bottle.
Bring it upstairs. Come on.
4 years it's taken me to find out I married a lush.
There it is. Our fairy godmother compliments of the telephone company. You want to go first?
No, you go ahead. I'm just along for the ride.
What shall I ask for?
Well, look, don't fool around with one dress. Ask for a whole new wardrobe. As long as you're going to be a kook, you might as well be kooky in the grand manner.
You're a genius. Hello? I want a whole new wardrobe. Oh, no, 2 wardrobes. One for myself and one for my husband. Everything in the latest style, and everything must fit perfectly. Oh, and have everything finished and delivered by the time I get home from work tomorrow afternoon. That's, I guess, it for now. You want to order something, Hal?
Well, sure. Why not? Here, give me that. Hello. I want the house completely redecorated. Completely. Restored, I should say, exactly as it was when the place was new. And I don't mean just when you get around to it. I want that finished by tomorrow afternoon also. By the end of the working day. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Let's finish this bubble water and get to bed. Hey, what do you bet you have a headache in the morning?
You'd have lost that bet. No headache. All I want is a cup of coffee, though.
Me too. That's all we have time for anyway.
Well, pick me up after work this afternoon.
Sure. I may be a little late, though.
That's okay. A secretary's work is never done.
So, after I spend the better part of 3 weeks working on this brief, and it's brilliant if I do say so myself, who do you think is going to take it into court?
Mr. Fuller?
Old J.C. himself. Who else? How was your day?
Oh, you know. Once you've typed one letter, you've typed them all. You know something? We ought to walk home from my office every evening.
Hold my briefcase while I unlock the door, will you?
I wonder if they finished.
Who finished what?
The decorators, you know. You told them it had to be finished by the end of the working day. How?
Now, this is too much. I mean, what kind of a joke?
It is, Hal. It's all been redecorated, restored. Just like you ordered. Oh, Hal.
Hey, where's our new television set? Now, that is going too far. That set cost color TV. That was a 21-inch screen.
But how did they do it? Who did it? I mean, I can't figure. Hal.
What?
The refrigerator's gone. Look at this thing. What is it?
It's an old ice box. It's full of ice. I don't think you can get ice like this anymore. There's something... This is all wrong, Norma.
It's not a joke, is it, Hal? Nobody makes this kind of a joke.
A coal range. An old coal range. My grandmother Scott had one of those out in her summer kitchen. Nobody used the things even then.
The toaster, the blender, everything, Hal, it's all gone.
That telephone. That damn telephone.
It's real, isn't it? It really is real. You tell the telephone you want something and you get it. It's like a genie in a bottle. You just order it and I think I'm scared.
All right. If it'll work one way, it ought to work the other too. In reverse.
What are you going to do, Hal?
Come on. I'm going up there and I'm going to tell that lousy telephone to put our own stuff back in this house and then leave us alone. That's what I'm going to do. Now listen, you, whoever you are, I want you to stop...
Number, please.
Oh, my God.
Hal?
Norma, let's get out of this place.
A telephone? Redecorate and completely restore a 19th century house? And all in the course of an 8-hour day? It seems impossible, doesn't it? And yet there it is. And somebody did it. Or something. We'll look into it further when I return shortly with Act 2. Time. One of the many things we still don't understand about our universe. Now here, in an old house on New York's East Side, Hal and Norma Glenford have found an antiquated telephone that seems to constitute some kind of flaw in what we consider the natural passage of time. At least in the incredibly short objective space of 8 hours, the house has somehow become its original 19th century self. The past, if Hal and Norma can believe what they see and hear, has been trapped within its walls. The eeriness of it has sent the two of them frightened out onto 58th Street.
It's so quiet out here. And so dark. I don't remember it being this dark before.
Well, we haven't been around this neighborhood much at night. I guess east of First Avenue, the city just doesn't waste money on bright lights.
Let's walk up that way, Hal. Right now, I don't want to go back into the house.
Okay. Up toward 3rd Avenue or Lex? You know, I don't think I ever heard New York this quiet before. East side, west side, day or night. It's like a tomb.
Hal? Hal, do you hear it?
I don't hear anything, just...
Now do you hear it?
Well, yeah, I hear something like a... It's like a...
It sounds to me like an L train. A few blocks away, like the 3rd Avenue L.
Which was torn down. When? 15 years ago.
Well, listen to it.
Hey, this I've got to see.
But Hal, if it's the old 3rd Avenue L, then that means that everything... everywhere...
No, listen, we don't know what it means. Some nostalgia freak with a recording, probably. Something like that. Come on, let's go see.
Now, if that isn't an L stopping, I've never heard an L stopping.
You haven't in a long time.
But I've heard plenty of them when I was a kid.
Wait a minute, Norma. What do you hear now?
A horse. Don't tell me that's not a horse.
That sure sounds like one. Mounted cop, most likely, or maybe that same nostalgia buff.
If that's a recording, then it's some recording. I've never heard a record.
Now, wait a minute. Wait. That horse is no recording. It's either a mounted policeman or...
There's your nostalgia buff. All 4 hoofs.
Well, some companies must still use horses. You know, late at night. And...
It's not that late. Anyway, look what's in the wagon.
I see them. Those big milk cans. They used to... Well, look, I don't know. Maybe they still use them.
I'm scared.
Well, it's spooky, I admit that. So still and no traffic except that horse and wagon? Well, look, Norma, there's got to be a logical explanation. I mean, if there's not, what's happened? Have we lost our minds?
Oh, no.
Well, no, Norma, don't get upset.
No, Hal, that's not what I mean. Look up there.
Up where?
At the light. The street light on the corner.
It looks like a...
It's a gas light, that's what it is.
I think maybe we ought to get back to the house and see if we can't get organized.
It's back there, too, Hal.
Okay, but if everything's gone back to the 19th century or something, let's at least go back and face it in our own home.
If we still have a home.
The key seems to turn easier.
What if there's somebody in there? I mean, we didn't live here in... What year do you think it is, Hal?
It's... Oh, Lord, I'm so mixed up. How can it be anything but 1974? That's what it is.
Or was, or will be.
Now, we've got to stop this foolishness. The first thing we need is some dinner. Maybe with some good, solid food inside us, we can take a more reasonable view of this mess.
I don't know how to cook on a coal range. I don't even know how to make it burn, do you? Well, we were lucky there was some stuff in the icebox already cooked. I wonder who cooked it.
Maybe my grandmother.
What do you suppose happened to them? Your great-grandmother and grandfather. Are they supposed to be living here? Are they going to come walking in and...
Listen, what's that?
It's that phone upstairs, Hal.
You mean the one that... Oh, Lord.
Let it ring, Hal. Just let it ring.
I can't. If it's somebody from whatever year this is, I've got to talk to him, Norma. I've got to.
All right, but I'm going with you. They put carpet on the stairway, or had it on the stairway, whichever.
Hurry up, will you? I don't want whoever it is to hang up before we get there.
It's actually a new house now, isn't it? You don't see the signs of age anymore. It doesn't look like 1,000 coats of paint on everything.
Hello?
This is Bill, Harold. Where have you been all day?
Well,
I practically camped outside your office all afternoon, and you never did show up.
Who did you say this is?
Are you all right, Harold? It's Bill Voigt, your partner.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. I was wool gathering.
I guess you were. Listen, I've got to talk to you bright and early tomorrow morning. You're in a jam, Harold.
A jam? Well, can't you tell me about it now?
You'd better get in here tomorrow for your own good. It's nothing to do with me, but for your own good.
Oh, well, if it's that important...
It is. It's to you, Harold, not to me. To you.
All right. Thanks for calling, Bill.
What was that about a jam?
He didn't say. But you want to know something weird? He thought he was talking to my great-grandfather. That man called me Harold, and that was his name. I can't remember anybody ever calling me Harold my whole life. He thought he was talking to my great-grandfather. I can't see. How did they read by these silly gas lights anyway?
Oh, there's an oil lamp right there on the desk. I think they used oil lamps to read by at night. The gas fixtures are all up on the wall.
Well, do you know how to light one of these things? I mean, the lamps?
Well, just take the chimney off, or the glass thing. Then you hold a match to the wick like a candle.
Because if this is my great-grandfather's desk, I mean, the way he left it only yesterday, I want to know what's in it. Is this what you mean by the wick?
Yes. Do you think we'll ever get back, Hal? I don't know if I could stand it stuck here forever.
There's no way of knowing, Norma. Everything's written in longhand. This looks like a deed of some kind. Most likely for the house. No. My gosh.
What?
This is a deed to an office building on Fifth Avenue. Way downtown, but that's where the action was in those days. These days.
Your great-grandfather owned an office building?
I told you, he was loaded. There goes that lousy telephone again.
Don't answer it, Hal.
Look, you can come with me. It's no good just letting it ring. It's got to be somebody important. There weren't many phones in those days. These days, damn it. Only rich people could afford telephones.
It'll just mix things up all the more, though, answering it.
Look, it's our only contact the way things are.
I wish. Oh, it's no good wishing.
Hello.
Hello. Mr. Glenford?
Yes?
This is Maud Spencer, Mr. Glenford. Is Norma in?
Just a minute, I'll see. Norma, do you know a Maud Spencer?
I don't know anybody here.
She asked for Norma. Norma. Now, maybe it's a link of some kind. You'd better talk to her.
Oh, Hal, I don't want to talk on that thing.
Look, this could be the breakthrough. Here, talk to her.
Hello?
Norma, my dear. We were all expecting you at Sarah Aldrich's tea this afternoon. I do hope you're not sick.
Sarah who?
Aldrich. Sarah Aldrich. Well, you were invited, weren't you? Sarah said you were.
Oh, well, yes, I guess I was. I mean, yes, of course I was. I've been having these spells, you know, headaches and that kind of thing.
Oh, dear. No trouble about your delicate condition, I hope.
Well, it's related, I guess. nothing to be concerned about. I'm just supposed to get a lot of rest, stay at home and take it easy.
Oh, dear. Is there anything I can do? I'll come and see you tomorrow afternoon.
No, don't do that.
What?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it the way it sounded. All I meant was I'm perfectly all right. I really don't need a fuss made over me or anything like that. It just isn't necessary. That's all I meant.
Well, I'm sure I have no wish to intrude where I'm not necessary.
I wish you wouldn't. Hello? Hello? She hung up.
It wasn't anyone you know?
No, I was supposed to have gone to Sarah somebody's tea this afternoon and didn't show up.
Well, it could have been the breakthrough.
One thing. Whoever was supposed to have answered this phone is called Norma, and she's pregnant.
I'll tell you this. My great-grandfather was not a very popular man.
How do you mean?
Well, if he had any friends, they sure didn't write to him. These letters are all from people who hated his guts. Claim he stole them blind.
Stole? Do you think it's true?
I'm beginning to believe that old Harold Glenford Esquire was mixed up in some pretty shady enterprises.
What kind of shady?
Kickbacks, near extortion, character assassination, embezzlement, or something very like it. If a third of these letters are right, you name it, and old great-granddaddy Glenford was into it.
Oh, that's shocking.
Listen, you want to hear one?
I'm not sure I do.
Glenford. This guy signs himself James Blakely. Glenford, you are unfit to breathe God's pure air. The ways of God are beyond understanding, but justice is inevitable either in this world, which you befoul, or in the next, where, never fear, the punishment you deserve has been prepared for you. To hasten you into that world would be an act of the highest nobility. If I do not do the deed myself, rest assured that another will in good time.
Wow.
A sample. Only a sample.
How?
Well, what is it?
Look at this.
It's a... This is a picture of you and me. That sure is what it looks like. But in those clothes? Where did you get this?
In this desk drawer. Look on the back.
Mr. and Mrs. Harold W. Glenford on the occasion of their wedding, June 1894.
And look at those signatures. Except for a couple of curlicues, they're yours and mine. I can't help it, Hal. I'm scared.
I don't see how it's possible, but it must be. I have somehow become my own great-grandfather. Not only that, but you're my great-grandmother, and that child you're carrying, due to be born next April, is my grandfather.
Paradoxical? Well, yes, of course. You presuppose paradox the moment you start moving about in time. How do you know you aren't your own great-grandfather or grandmother? If tomorrow you found an old telephone in your attic, well, how do you know? I'll return shortly with Act 3. If I had my life to live over, that's not an uncommon expression. We've all heard it. But have you ever heard anyone say, if I had my great-grandfather's life to live over? That's exactly what has happened to Hal Glenford, if his conclusions are correct. He has not only gone back in time to his great-grandfather's day, but he has also taken on his great-grandfather's identity, and the wife he loves is now, as he must believe, his own great-grandmother. A situation of many complexities. Hal has broken open the strongbox he found in old Harold Glenford's desk and has gone quickly through its contents.
Well, there's one comfort. If we actually are my great-grandfather and grandmother, we're very rich people.
What difference does that make?
A lot. if we're stuck in this time.
I want out, rich or not.
Well, honey, so do I, of course. But there are securities and deeds in this strongbox representing well over $1 million in assets. And $1 million was really worth something in 1897.
Is that when it is now?
Mid-November of 1897, according to the dates on those letters I read.
How can't you do something about it?
What? Invent a time machine? Look, I don't know. Maybe it'll just happen. Like the other time, only in reverse. Norma, I'm sorry. That's the best I have to offer. Meantime, I think we ought to get some sleep.
Sleep? In the middle of a thing like this, sleep?
Try to, anyway. I wish we had that bottle of champagne we drank last night. Oh, Lord. It wasn't last night. The grapes that went into that champagne haven't even been planted yet.
Hello there.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you had someone in your office with you.
Never mind. I was just leaving. Sit down, Harold. You were wise to shave off your beard.
Oh, yes. Well, my wife never really liked it, and I thought...
Well, it served you well. Blakely didn't recognize you.
Was that James Blakely?
What are you talking about? You know perfectly well it was James Blakely.
No, I mean, I had a letter from him yesterday. I could have... do you know I could have him in court for some of the things he said?
Yeah, that's rather funny, you know. You having James Blakely in court instead of the other way around? That's really very funny.
I don't think I know what you mean.
Well, that's neither here nor there. I want to dissolve our partnership, Harold, as of this moment.
Oh? Do you mind telling me why?
Do you really think that's necessary?
I wish you'd tell me...
All right. I've had my fill of being a thief's associate.
Now, wait, just
I
a
know.
minute.
I took my share in the beginning. You're not the only fool in the room, but I'm through with it now. And thank God I had no part in the Blakely thing.
All right. I was checking things over last night, thinking things over. Some of my business tactics have been, all right, shameful. I admit that. But I decided last night to change things. I mean, no shady dealings of any kind from now on.
I see. Change things. And make restitution?
Well, where it's reasonable, where it's possible.
Without costing you money, you mean? I don't believe you, Harold. Not for a minute I don't. How are you going to make restitution to Jim Blakely?
I don't... Would you mind refreshing my memory on the Blakely thing?
Oh, now, really,
No,
Harold?
I've been Lately, I've been reassessing. I've been reevaluating, and there are just so many details. I'd just like to hear the Blakely affair clearly stated. Objectively, you know.
Oh, nonsense. Well, all right, if you want to hear it all over again. If you really want to wallow in that miserable can of worms a second time.
Please, Bill, it would help me.
Well, Blakely came to you in the first place, looking for a handout. On the tape, granted. I'm sure you haven't forgotten that.
No.
You were still under 30 at the time, but you were already under my guidance, damn it. That's what I hate. You were already a power in the construction industry. Blakely was sure you gave kickbacks, and he wanted one.
Then he was as much to blame as I if he came to me.
At the time, you managed it so that you had his signature on a dozen damaging documents. And you never signed so much as a letter to him. You remember that?
Well,
you've always worked that way, and you gave him a low bid on that job, and good value, too. The State Parks Commission building, wasn't
it? I don't remember.
And Blakely got a promotion because of it, and another, until he was made State Highways and Buildings Commissioner. It wasn't until then that you started blackmailing him.
Blackmail? Well, it's not an uncommon practice to...
And you bled him white. No more kickbacks, but every contract out of Blakely's office has gone to you for... What's it been, 2 years now?
Well, if I put him where he is in the first place...
They've caught him, Harold. He's going before a grand jury next week, and they'll indict. He's finished. There isn't a shred of evidence against you except his word, which, of course, isn't worth a tinker's damn now. You never signed a thing, did you?
A man who signs damning documents is nothing more than
a fool, like Blakely. Well, does that refresh your memory?
It puts things in perspective.
Well, as I've told you, I'm very happy that I had anything to do with the Blakeney business. Right now, he's thinking about killing you. No, seriously. That was just what he was telling me.
Oh, God.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I just remembered something. I'll have to leave now. There's something I must do.
But before you go, about dissolving the partnership. I don't know how you feel about it, but
Anything you say. Anything you say. It doesn't matter. We'll do it any way you like. It isn't important now.
Hal? Oh, Hal, I'm so glad you're home.
Yes, listen, we have to get out of here.
So awful, Hal, being in a place you're so terrified of and being even more terrified of leaving it. I've never in my life...
Norma, we have got to get out of here.
Out of here? Where to?
I mean, altogether out of this time. We've got to get back to the 20th century.
Hal, something's happened, hasn't it?
No. Yes. Norma, there's no time now. Let's try the telephone again.
I want to know. Tell me, Hal. Tell me.
Number, please.
Listen, I want you to get off the line. Do you understand? I want you to just unplug yourself or whatever it is you do and just get off the line. Just for a minute or two. Will you do that, please?
Number, please.
Oh, for God's sake, shut up. If you can't get off the line altogether, at least shut up. Don't talk. All right. Listen, you, whoever you are, we have had enough of this nonsense. We want to go back to the 20th century, and we want to go back now. You're the one who got us into this mess. Now get us out of it. Do you hear me?
Number, please.
Damn!
Hal, what are you doing?
Pulling the wires out of the wall. Can't you see? I'm trying to get this lousy telephone back the way it was when we first moved in here. All right. Can you hear me? You in there in your damn stupid telephone? I want you to put us back. Do you hear me? We didn't ask to be brought here. We're not responsible for anything that happened before we got here. We want to go back. You can't punish me for something my great-grandfather did. Do you hear me? All right, don't answer. You don't have to answer. Just do it. I don't know what else I can do.
Hal, the phone isn't hooked up. You pulled the wires out of the wall.
It wasn't hooked up before when all this started. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll get us out of here before...
Before what, Hal?
Okay. Come on downstairs. I guess you'll have to know. And he's threatening to kill me. Blakely is. That's what my great-grandfather's esteemed partner told me this morning.
Well, then what are we sitting here for? We have to get out of this house.
It won't do any good, Norma.
It will. There must be 1,000 places to hide. You're just a sitting duck here.
No, there's no hiding place but the 20th century. Back where we're really Hal and Norma Glenford. There's no hiding place at all in this century.
I just don't know what you're talking about.
The thing is, I remember now. I remembered while I was sitting there in Voight's office.
Remember what?
I remembered hearing my grandfather... Was he my grandfather or my son? I remember when I was just a little boy hearing my grandfather telling my father about it.
About what, Hal?
My great-grandfather was shot to death by a business associate. By a man he'd cheated, ruined. That's what my grandfather told my father.
All right. That was your great-grandfather.
But it's already happened. To whichever one of us was here, it's already happened. It can't be changed.
I don't believe any of that. I don't. I want you to do something.
I've done all I can do. It's up to that telephone upstairs.
Maybe if we just sit here and think 20th century, it'll work. Close our eyes and just know we're in the 20th century. Listen for auto horns. Think about the Pan Am building. Try to decide what we'll watch on TV later. Breathe the polluted air. Mightn't it work, Hal?
It couldn't hurt.
Close your eyes.
That'll be Blakely.
Don't answer it.
Do you think I'm crazy? Now listen to me. If he's got a gun, he can get at us through the front window. I want you to head for the coat closet as fast as you can and get in there and stay in there until I tell you to come out. Have you got that?
Yes.
Norma, get in the closet.
No, not as long as you...
Get down, Norma, get down on the...
Hal!
Don't move, Norma. He may still be out there.
Hal, you're bleeding.
I am. I don't feel anything, but I can't seem to...
All over your shirt. I'm going to call an ambulance. Now, don't move. I'll be right back. Don't move.
Can't call an ambulance. I pulled the wires out. Remember?
I'll go out, Hal. There must be a cop or something.
I'll go, Norma. Please. It wouldn't do any good. It's already happened.
But I can't just...
I might not be here when you get back.
Oh, Hal.
I want to tell you something important.
All right.
The kid. Next April.
I'll name him Harold and I'll call him Hal.
No. Anything but that. Anyway, his name was Edward. My grandfather.
Hal, don't you think I ought...
No, tell Edward. Tell him when he's old enough. Understand? Tell him get rid of the money. All of it. Dirty, filthy, dirty money.
Justice must be served. That goes without saying. But how many times? It's unlikely, of course, that anyone listening to me at this moment will ever find himself unexpectedly living in the 19th century, but just in case, how much do you really know about your great-grandfather? I'll be with you again in a few minutes. Young Edward Glenford, Norma's baby, was born in April 1898 and lived a long and, in some respects, fruitful life. He never made much money, but he gave away several millions of dollars, according to the instructions left by his father. But was it his father or his grandson who gave him those instructions? I leave you to puzzle it out for yourself. Our cast included Jennifer Harmon, Nick Pryor, Robert Maxwell, and Joan Shea. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
Hugh, what are we doing? What is it?
It's all over now. It's gone. Let's see what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That poor Sandy. Just look at him. Ripped to pieces. As if he'd run into the blades of a threshing machine.
But what did it?
The damn thing!
Oh, what?
That's what I call it. The damn thing. First, it did away with my chickens, and then the pigs and the cattle. And now poor Sandy, slashed to pieces. And that's not the end. Only the good Lord knows what the damn thing will destroy next. Or who?
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to a world where fears and suspense are the order. In cities and towns of North Africa, it's a common sight to see an old man sitting in the public square, surrounded by an admiring crowd who squat on their haunches as they listen to an age-old tale of courage, of romance, but above all, of mystery. Like that old man, the public teller of tales, I have a story for you. A story that takes place in our own country, which deals in matters that defy explanation. Matters which can be explained only from the tomb.
What are you doing, Hugh? What are you shooting at? Don't ask questions. Just fire while I reload.
Fire? At what?
Straight ahead of you, where the grave is moving.
Hugh, what are we doing? What is it?
You saw it this time, didn't you? You saw the movement, the blurry outline of a shape.
I saw a movement, but nothing else.
Well, where are your eyes, Bill? It was there. You just had a look and you'd have seen it. I think.
What the devil are you talking about, Hugh? Seen what?
You know. The thing. The damn thing.
Our mystery drama, The Damned Thing, was inspired by the celebrated American writer Ambrose Bierce. It was especially written for the Mystery Theater by Arnold Moss. It stars Robert Dryden and Joan Tompkins. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Sign-Off, the sinus medicines. I'll be back shortly with Act One. By the light of a kerosene lamp placed at one end of a rough wooden table, a tall, gaunt man is reading something written in a book. The man reads silently as his fingers trace the words. As the man lifts the book toward the light, the shadows cast by the ledger throw half of the small room into darkness, obscuring the faces of 7 men sitting against the log walls of the little cabin. On the other side sit 3 people, 2 women and a man, an elderly Indian, all equally silent, equally motionless. Next to them is an empty chair. By extending an arm, any one of them can touch the man who is lying on the table, face upward, covered by a sheet, his arms at his side. The man, Hugh Morgan, is dead. The man with the book is the district coroner. They all seem to be waiting for someone to occupy the empty chair. Finally, the tall man closes the book.
There are 3 things to determine at this inquest: the identity of the deceased, the time of death, and finally the mode of the departure, the manner in which his life came to an end. There's no question of identity. These have been positively confirmed as the remains of Hugh Morgan, famous scientific book writer and, until 3 years ago, well-known professor at the State University. Upon resigning from the university, he came up here to our mountains with Mrs. Morgan to get away from city life, to get what he called closer to nature. He built this cabin pretty much with his own hands. Is that a fair statement, Ms. Morgan?
That's correct, Mr. Bentley.
The time of death has been determined by medical examination as between 36 and 48 hours ago. We are now waiting for Mr. William Harker, the young newspaper fellow from San Francisco, former student of Professor Morgan's. His testimony, we are led to believe, may be of the greatest importance in this determination. Until such time as he arrives, we shall proceed with the investigation. I first call on the wife, the widow of the demised. Miss Morgan, if you please.
Yes?
Would you kindly repeat to these gentlemen what you've already told me about how your late husband met his death?
My husband loved these mountains. second only to his work, his writing. He loved nothing more dearly than walking, hunting, fishing, in all seasons, all kinds of weather.
No, of course. Tell us, please, about the visits of young Mr. Harker.
Well, as you've already stated, Mr. Harker is a newspaper man, a former student, a protege of Professor Morgan's. He had visited with us for a few days 5 or 6 weeks ago.
You do not like Mr. Harker, do you, Miss Morgan?
No, I do not. I have my reasons.
Did anything unusual happen during Harker's first visit 5 or 6 weeks ago?
Nothing, except for the dog.
The dog?
The hunting dog, Sandy. Professor Morgan and Harker went hunting. Sandy was horribly mutilated by some other animal, and he died. I'd never seen Harker so upset. After all, those things happen.
And Mr. Harker's second visit?
3 days ago. There was something he said he wanted to talk to my husband about. Something that had happened on that first visit. It had to do with money. I was in the kitchen, and I distinctly remember hearing my husband say,
But, Bill, a debt is a debt, and $5,000 is a lot of money.
I know that, Hugh. And if I can nail this story down, write it so it makes sense, so people will believe it, I'll get that $5,000 as a bonus. And I'll return it to you.
I hope so, Bill. It's been almost 4 years, and we need the money.
Trust me. Just help me get this story.
I don't know what you expect me to do.
All we have to do is go back to where Sandy got hurt.
It's one thing for a dog. Suppose, just suppose...
Stop worrying.
What makes you think you can write it so that the paper will take it?
With your help, I can do it.
Get your gun.
I've got it.
Is it loaded?
Of course.
All right, let's go.
and the two of them left the cabin, both with loaded guns.
What time of the day was it, Miss Morgan?
It wasn't day. It was night. Night before last. Clear, bitterly cold. It was a sharp night. I remember looking out the window after them. They had been gone no more than 5 minutes when I heard the strangest sound. It's hard to describe to you. And then almost immediately there was a scream. And then 2 shots, one right after the other.
And then, Miss Morgan?
A few minutes later, young Harker burst into the cabin looking as if he'd seen a ghost. He could hardly speak. When he was able to catch his breath, he said,
Mrs. Morgan, he was dead. Killed.
Who killed him, Mr. Harker?
I don't know. I was right there. And heaven help me, I don't know.
And it's your feeling, Miss Morgan, that...
My husband was a big man, sir. A strong man. He played football at college, wrestling team, too. The only thing he couldn't do was swim. But he was in perfect health. And Mr. Harker's a very slight young man. No match physically for my husband.
Which leads you to believe...
To do away with Hugh, Harker needed his gun.
In other words, you're convinced that the shots you heard...
Had to come from William Harker's hunting rifle. A double-barreled gun.
Harker's motive being...
To wipe out Hugh and his debt to him at the same time.
For the time being, I must ask these gentlemen of the jury to question what you're implying. You see, there is some doubt whether Mr. Harker or anybody else could possibly have shot your husband.
Why is that?
Because the condition of the body is such that at this time we cannot tell whether or not it contains so much as a single bullet wound. I call now on Miss Viola May Atwater. Miss Atwater?
Call me Viola May, like everyone else does.
Yes, of course. Now, it's been previously established, Miss Viola May, that you work here in the Morgan household?
Worked.
And your duties were?
Keeping the place clean, doing some of the cooking, especially when Mrs. Morgan wasn't feeling just right. Oh, driving to town in the wagon for supplies and...
Mm-hmm. Professor Morgan was in love with you, wasn't he?
Well, wouldn't exactly call it love. But we did get along. Quite well.
I'd like for you to tell us all how well.
I'm going to have Hugh's child. That's how well.
Thank you, Viola May. Now, you do understand why we're all here, don't you?
Well, I think so.
This is not a trial. No one is being accused of anything. Yet. We're just trying to find out the truth. We just want to know what happened night before last.
I can tell you.
Please do.
Well, you know how it was between the professor and me. And for the longest time, he'd been telling me he was going to get rid of Mrs. Morgan some way. But now, she ain't such a fool. She didn't know what was going on. Well, night before last, I was in the kitchen doing the supper dishes. I couldn't help hearing every word they said.
How much longer do you think I'm going to put up with this?
No one's asking you to put up with anything.
A man your age, a man of your reputation, having a sordid affair with a stupid, ignorant girl. Where's your pride?
That stupid, ignorant girl is something you never had.
That is pretty obvious, dear.
I'm talking about things like compassion. In her own simple way, she has a warmth and a tenderness that you've never shown in all the years of our marriage.
She understands you, doesn't she? You poor misunderstood...
And there's something else, since you've started it. Viola May is going to have my child.
I know.
But I want that child to have my name. I want a divorce.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Before I'd let you throw yourself away on a girl like that, and before I'd let you toss me aside like some old worn-out shoe, I'd kill you first.
I'm sure you would.
Don't push me to where I'd have to prove it.
Excuse me, ma'am. The dishes are done. Kitchen's in order. Is there anything else you'd like me to do before I turn in for the night?
That'll be all. Thank you.
Well, then I'll just say good night.
Well, Hugh, I'm going for a walk around the lake.
I'll go with you.
If you like. After we get back, you can pay a visit to your little friend.
And they both went out together.
Now, what time of the night would you say it was when they left?
Oh, 9:30 maybe. 10 at the latest.
What'd you do after they left?
Straighten things up a little more.
And then?
Well, they wasn't gone very long. Maybe 5 minutes. Not more. When I heard a most peculiar sound, like nothing I'd ever heard before. I can't exactly describe what it was like, and then almost on top of it, there was a scream that went right through me.
Go ahead, Viola May.
A minute or two later, Mrs. Morgan bust right into the cabin. She couldn't hardly talk. And finally she said,
Viola May, Mr. Morgan is dead. Drowned in the lake.
Mrs. Morgan told you herself that Professor Morgan couldn't swim. Now, I think you gentlemen can see for yourselves what happened. The first chance she got, she pushed him into the lake at the part where it's real deep. Now, he struggled for a piece, and in the darkness of the night, finally gave up and drowned.
I see. As I've explained before, Viola May, this inquest has been called because there's reason to believe that Hugh Morgan met his end through some kind of foul play.
Like I said.
Not quite like you said. Chances of Professor Morgan's death coming about as a result of drowning are very slim. Medical examination of the body thus far shows that the lungs seem to be perfectly normal. No water in them.
Not a drop.
Absolute truth is a very strange thing. What seems real to one person is very often a lie to another. The fact, as one person sees it, becomes a fiction in the eye of his neighbor. What then is real? And at what point does imagination, for example, color reality? I'll return shortly with Act Two. In an isolated cabin high in a deserted area of the mountains of Northern California, a corpse lies cold and rigid on a rough, hand-hewn table. The dead man, science writer Hugh Morgan, has come to an unexplained and unnatural end. The district coroner and his jury await the arrival of a man who may turn out to be the key witness in this death. Two other witnesses, the wife and the mistress of the dead man, have already testified. The coroner turns up the wick of the kerosene lamp, calls on a third witness, the elderly Indian who has been sitting in stony silence, listening.
Joe Crowfoot?
Yes, sir.
Joe, you earn your living as a guide to hunting parties, is that right?
Yes, sir. I know every stream, every trail, like the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm. Would you please repeat for the benefit of these gentlemen what you already told me? What happened night before last?
It was about 9:30. I'd put out the lamps and was just about to call it a day. Hunting party at 5 the next morning. I'd just gone out to the rear of my shack when I heard voices.
You said you loved me, Hugh. You said I was the only thing in this whole wide world that mattered to you.
That's true, Viola May.
Then what's all this talk you've given out to me about how the time ain't right for a divorce?
It would kill her. I may not love her, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to do anything to hurt her.
Ain't you the considerate one? You think nothing of hurting me.
Look out for that snake.
Oh.
Quick! Get back on the path. Oh, that was close.
I couldn't see it.
Well, how could you? Here, let's sit down on this stump for a minute and, for heaven's sake, keep your voice down. Joe's asleep, and we don't want to wake him.
You got a responsibility, Hugh. I'm going to be mother to your child.
So you say.
Now, what's that mean?
Well, what makes you so sure it's me?
Well, who else could... Now, what is in back of that filthy mind of yours?
I told you to keep your voice down.
I'll tell the whole world what a dirty old man you really are.
You little fool. Now, you pull yourself together.
Hugh Morgan, I hope you...
You pushed me, you deliberate. No. Oh, the rattlesnake, it's there. I can see it. But don't move. Lie here as quietly as... It's lifting its head, but... It bit me. Get help! You little idiot, I've been bitten. Wake Joe Crowfoot fast.
What makes you think Joe would help you? Wake him up yourself, lover boy. I got more important things to do.
Joe! Joe Crowfoot, help! I need help! Help me, somebody!
In no time at all. I had him in my shack. Did everything I knew to kill the poison the snake had shot into his body. But...
Yes, Joe?
I guess I was too late. Within a very short time, Professor Morgan was dead.
And it is your testimony that he was pushed by the young lady, Viola May, into the spot, the area where she knew there was a rattlesnake.
Yes, sir.
That's very interesting, Mr. Crowfoot.
Why do you say that?
The medical examination. As far as we can determine, not a trace of the snake's poison is in the bloodstream. Not a trace.
Mr. Bentley, I got here as fast as I could.
You, young man, are...
I'm William Harker of the San Francisco Press. Forgive me if I've held things up.
Oh, delighted to see you, Mr. Harker.
I left the minute I got your call. This is not the easiest place to get to.
I want to finish this business tonight.
Well, I think you should know that when I left here early yesterday morning, it was not to evade your summons.
No?
No, it was to get the story to my paper. The story of Hugh Morgan's death.
Now, Mr. Harker, we've heard 3 different versions tonight of how Hugh Morgan met his death. And none of them has yet been substantiated by the facts of the medical examination of the body. Now, have we any reason to expect that the account you posted to your newspaper, Mr. Harker, will be anything like the story you will give here?
That's up to you, sir. I've made a carbon copy of what I wrote for my paper. You're welcome to see it. It's incredible. More incredible than pure fiction, but it is the truth. I'll swear to it.
All right, we'll resume the inquest. Mr. Harker, would you kindly be seated? Now, you knew the deceased, Hugh Morgan?
Yes.
How well?
He was my professor at the university. It taught me everything I knew about writing. More than that. He was the closest friend I had.
And you were with him when he died?
I was with him when he died.
How'd that happen? You being here, I mean.
Well, I came up 3 days ago to shoot and fish. Part of my purpose, however, was to follow up on the story of the dog, Sandy. You see, I had been here 5 weeks earlier.
On a purely friendly visit to your old teacher?
Well, on that occasion, we went out hunting, as we'd usually done on previous visits. It was still dark. The sun had not yet risen when we left the cabin.
Sandy! Sandy! Here, boy! Have you any idea where that silly dog went?
Well, he was here a minute ago, Hugh.
Funniest thing, he just disappeared. Oh, but he'll be back. In the meantime, we'll have to do without him. Well, now, let's see if we're as good as he is in raising some quail.
What's our best ground?
Beyond that ridge, I'd say. We'll have to go through the chaparral to get to it. It's pretty level ground, thickly covered with grain. Let's go, Bill. Hold it, Bill. Hold it. Be very quiet.
What is it?
Just listen.
What is that? I think we've startled a deer. Oh, I wish we'd bought a rifle instead of just shot.
Shh, be very quiet.
What are you doing, Hugh? You're not going to fill up a deer with quail shot, are you? Is anything wrong? Hugh, have we jumped a grizzly?
Cock your gun, Bill.
Well, now what? Everything's so quiet. What is it?
Just keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. Keep low, very low, and watch.
And that's exactly what I did.
What happened next?
A minute or two went by. Suddenly, there was this weird sound that seemed to come from out of nowhere. It grew louder and louder. It got to the point where I had to put my hands over my ears to shut out the sound. It was so shattering. And then it stopped. As suddenly as it had started.
And what did you see, Mr. Harker?
Well, up until then, the bushes had been deathly still. Not a bit of movement of any kind. I turned to Professor Morgan and was about to speak when the field of wild oats we'd been watching began to move in the most curious way. It seemed as if the oats were being stirred up by a streak of wind, which, well, not only bent it, but pressed it down, crushed it, so that it didn't rise, as if some huge, invisible, what can I call it? Presence was moving slowly along through the oats, stepping on it with giant feet. And this movement, foot by foot, was prolonging itself directly toward us.
What was your feeling, Mr. Harker, as you were watching this strange occurrence?
Well, I must confess that I lay there in the chaparral, right beside Professor Morgan, watching this fantastic thing happen. And I was not afraid.
Was this equally true of your companion?
No, he was terrified. What are you doing, Hugh? What are you shooting at?
Don't ask questions, just fire while I reload.
Fire? At what?
Straight ahead of you, where the grain is moving.
Well, if you say so. Hugh, what are we doing? What is it?
It's all over now. It's gone. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That poor Sandy. Just look at him. Ripped to pieces. As if he'd run into the blades of a threshing machine.
But what did it? I didn't see anything.
Well, you saw the movement, didn't you? And a sort of blurry outline of a shape?
I saw the movement. Nothing else.
So where are your eyes, Bill? It was there to see. You just had to look and you'd have seen it. I think.
What the devil are you talking about, Hugh? Seen what?
The thing. The damn thing.
Oh. What?
That's what I call it. The damn thing. First, it did away with my chickens, and then the pigs and the cattle. And now poor Sandy, slashed to pieces. And that's not the end. Only the good Lord knows what the damn thing will destroy next. Or who?
Is it possible that there is a grain of truth in the incredible story Harker has just told? And can Hugh Morgan's fear of a shapeless, sinister force, of a thing that seems to challenge all reason and logic, be justified? We'll find out when I return shortly with Act 3. From the blank darkness outside the cabin come the familiar noises of night in the wilderness, the long, nameless note of a distant coyote, and all that mysterious chorus of small sounds that seem always to have been but half heard when they suddenly cease. But none of the company present seems to be aware of anything other than the corpse on the table before them.
Please continue, Mr. Harker.
Well, that's about it. We buried the dog and went back to the cabin. And never said another word to each other about what had happened that morning.
You stayed on for a while?
No, sir. I returned to San Francisco the next day.
And then 5-6 weeks later, 3 days ago, you came back again. Why?
To fill in some of the blanks. There were too many unexplained things.
Tell us what happened night before last.
I think Hugh had a pretty good idea of why I had come back so soon after the episode with the dog. It was he himself who suggested that we go out to hunt whatever might be around.
I think our best chances are this way, over this ridge.
But Hugh, isn't that the same ridge where Sandy...
Of course it is, of course. Now just see that your gun is loaded.
It's loaded.
Good. Keep your eyes and ears open. We've got a full moon and visibility is real good. Now, if anything... Be very quiet, Bill. Do you hear anything?
No. Nothing.
But just be careful. Be very careful. It comes up on you out of nowhere. It gives you no warning.
Right.
Let it have it, Bill, both barrels. And here's mine. I missed it, Bill. I missed it. Run. Run for your life.
Hugh, I don't see anything. What's happened? I was thrown violently to the ground by the impact of something unseen in the haze. Something soft and heavy hurled itself against me with great force. Before I could get back to my feet, I heard Morgan crying out in mortal agony. Mingling with his cries were hoarse, savage sounds, like from the throats of mad dogs fighting each other to the death, snarling and growling. This time I was terrified. I struggled to my feet. I looked for Professor Morgan, and may heaven in mercy spare me from another sight like that.
Now, easy, Mr. Harker.
Not 20 yards away, my friend was down on one knee, his head thrown back at a terrifying angle. His hat was gone. His long hair was in disorder. His whole body was convulsed with violent movements from one side to the other, backward and forward. His right arm...
Yes?
It was lifted, and it didn't seem to have a hand. At least I could see none. The other arm was completely invisible. Morgan seemed like a wrestler of some kind, determined and yet overcome, beaten by a force of superior weight, greater strength.
And all this time, all you saw was Morgan?
Yeah.
Nothing else? Nobody else?
No, just him. And then, not always distinctly. And throughout the whole thing, such sounds of rage and fury as I have never heard in my life, from man or beast.
Now, what, if anything, did you do to help your friend?
Well, I ran toward him. I had a funny kind of feeling that he was suffering from a fit or from some kind of convulsion. I looked up, and by the light of the moon, I could see, as I had weeks before, the same mysterious movement of the wild oats, retreating, rolling itself back from the place where Hugh lay, toward the edge of the woods. When I got there, I looked down at my friend. He was lying on his back, absolutely still and quiet. He was dead.
Gentlemen, you've now heard 4 different accounts from 4 different witnesses. Now, finally, there is the version of death in some mysterious manner that Morgan was killed by an unknown force or creature of some kind, which Morgan called the damn thing.
Mr. Bentley, there are 2 things more I would like to bring to your attention.
Yes, Mr. Harker?
First, that book you placed under the table, I recognize it as Professor Morgan's diary. You seem greatly interested in it. In fact, you were reading it while I was testifying. May I see it? I'm sure it would throw a great deal of light on Morgan's death.
The book will cut no figure in this matter, Mr. Harker. All the entries in it were made before Hugh Morgan's death.
That's ridiculous.
Now, you said there's something else you'd like to bring to our attention before a verdict is rendered?
Well, there's one substantial bit of evidence which has not yet been revealed.
Yes, Mr. Harker?
The body of Morgan. I demand that you uncover the body right now so that we can all see whether or not I was telling the truth.
I will be happy to meet with your request, Mr. Harker.
Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen of the jury, the body of Hugh Morgan. Now, it may be difficult to see details in this light. I read from the medical report, gentlemen. The body of the demised is covered with broad maculations of bluish black caused by extravasated contusions. That's those big black and blue marks here, and here, and over here. The chest and sides appear to have been beaten with some heavy weapon, such as a bludgeon. I call your attention to these huge tears in the flesh, where the skin has been ripped into shreds and little strips.
Might we know why there's that silk handkerchief passing under the chin and knotted on top of the head?
You may indeed. I'll remove it, and I think you'll see why it's there. If it weren't there, the head would almost be separate, detached from the rest of the body. What was once the neck and throat have, as you can see, been chewed away. That satisfy you, Mr. Harker?
I thank you very much.
Now I will ask the jury to adjourn for its verdict.
We, the jury, do find that the remains of Professor Morgan come to their death at the hands of a mountain lion.
You can't mean that!
Just the same, there is some of us thinks that the remains was subject to a simple case of fits.
Come in. Oh, Mr. Harker. Can't say I'm surprised to see you. To what does my humble office owe the honor of your visit?
I can't accept the verdict your jury gave last night.
Unfortunately, there ain't much you can do about it.
I think there is, sir. I can establish the truth about Hugh Morgan's death.
And how exactly do you propose to do that, Mr. Harker?
Take a look at this.
What is it?
A reel of tape and a recording machine. Months ago, I asked Hugh to make a day-by-day recording of whatever he saw, whatever he experienced in connection with this phenomenon. Would you like to hear it, Mr. Coroner?
Yes, of course.
This might just possibly make you change your mind. Listen carefully.
And Sandy kept running in a kind of half circle, keeping his head turned always toward the center.
You recognize that as Professor Morgan's voice?
Yes,
He kept barking furiously. At last, he ran away into the brush as fast as he could go. At first, I thought maybe he'd gone mad. And then the thought occurred to me, can a dog see with his nose? Can a dog think with his nose? Do odors impress on the brain the image of the thing that gave off the odor?
The next entry is a few weeks later.
May 27th. It's been here again. I find evidence of its presence every day. In the morning, fresh giant footprints were there as before. I find it impossible to sleep. This is terrible and terrifying. If this is real, I shall go mad. And if it isn't real, then I'm mad already.
It's like I said.
Just
June 3rd. I will not leave. I will not let it drive me away. This is my house, my land. June 5th. I can't stand it any longer. I've invited Harker to spend a couple of days here with me. He has a level head. I can tell from the way he acts whether or not he thinks I'm insane.
Turn it off. I've heard all I intend to hear.
Not yet, sir. We're coming to the most important part of the whole thing. Just listen.
June 10th. I have it. I'm sure I have it. I have the solution to this mystery. It came to me last night suddenly. And how simple it is, how terribly simple. There are sounds we cannot hear. At either end of the scale, there are notes that imperfect instrument the human ear cannot grasp. They're either too high in pitch or too low. It's like those whistles that they make for dogs. The dogs can hear it, but the tones are too high for the human ear.
Mr. Harker,
listen, please.
As it is with sounds, so it must be, so it is with colors. Things that are visible to the eye, things that are not visible, are all of them ruled by the same phenomena that govern sounds. At one end of the solar spectrum, there are infrared waves and ultraviolet waves at the other. None of them are visible to the human eye. The eye can only see a few octaves of this huge band of colors, the band between the infrared and the ultraviolet. Now I know that I am not mad. There are colors that we cannot see. And heaven help me, the damn thing is of such a color.
Well?
Yes?
That's what killed Morgan. I was there. I saw it happen.
Mr. Harker, you play this tape for anybody, and they'll swear that Professor Morgan was as crazy as a loon. I don't think you'd want that, would you?
What are you going to do?
May I please have that reel of tape? Now, I love the truth as well as the next fella. The world needs the truth. But there are times when the world has an even greater need for what is not true. For the untruth that may offer something like consolation, compassion, or hope. And so, Mr. Harker, with your permission, I think destroying this tape is the best thing we could possibly do.
As the last foot of tape turned into ashes, the skies opened up and it began to rain. And the mutilated body of Hugh Morgan rested quietly where it was. They say, blessed is the bride the sun shines on, blessed is the corpse the rain falls on. Who knows? I'll be back in a moment. An interesting footnote on Ambrose Bierce, the American writer on whose story, The Damned Thing, our tale was based. In 1913, he left his work, disappeared into Mexico, and every trace of him was lost forever. Never heard from again. Is it just possible that he, like Hugh Morgan, met his end at the hands of some damned thing? Who knows? Our cast included Arnold Moss, Robert Dryden, Joan Tompkins, Evie Juster, and Bob Caliban. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
Even tricks go wrong sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Did anything like that ever happen to your husband?
Well, yeah, once. He couldn't open the lock on his handcuffs. See, he had a key hidden in the cuff of his trousers, but it slipped out of his hand and fell between the cracks of the floorboard. He wasn't hurt or anything. It was just a wicker basket escape on stage.
I see. But if anything like that happened now, I mean, at the bottom of a lake.
Well, that would be terrible. It'd be awful.
Yeah. It would be really tragic.
I don't want to think about any such thing. I just don't want to think about it.
No, of course not, Wanda. At least we won't think about it tonight.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.